So, when it comes to where we are in the game, we basically just went from we just finished day one. I think yeah, that was I think only day one, maybe 2 days of the story. We encountered first evidence of multiple realities because we were pretty sure that we've seen Christina dead. Sorry, Mikey said Christina. She would blast me if I said Christina. So we definitely saw Maki Sekurisu dead, and now she's alive. And something weird is going on with our microwave. It looks like our microwave can send messages between space and time. I completely forgot how you even operate this game, so that's gonna be something. I think Z was the phone. Oh, right. So we also met this weird girl who has a weird case of forgetting stuff. So she's basically making photos of everything, and she wanted us to meet her, to show us Daru. Daru is our friend who's like a super hacker. And apparently we called her Shining Finger because she was very good at typing stuff. And she just spammed our inbox. There we are. The dawn of a new day. Actually, it's already noon. We didn't sleep at all. Sleep deprivation makes the summer sun seem all the brighter. I really don't want to go outside, but I'm fed up with the humidity inside the lab. I chug a bottle of Dr. P. My stomach protests. Maybe I drank too fast. I'm exhausted. My hands are shaking slightly, and my vision is cloudy. I could pass out if I'm not careful. Maybe I should take a shower. That should stave off exhaustion, if only temporarily. This building has a basic shower room. There's no bath, but it's enough. The lab would be hell without it. Oh yeah, because they don't have air conditioning, right? So they actually go to the uni to experience air conditioning. Daru is at his computer, his back turned towards me. His right leg is bouncing impatiently. The room is mostly silent, save for the electronic fans humming and Daru's mouse clicks. Daru doesn't look my way, and he doesn't try to start a conversation. Neither do I. I don't have the energy. Outside is a sunny summer afternoon, but inside the air is stale and empty of life. Yesterday, that shocking experiment conceived me. Oh, please bear with me, I beg. Nothing conceived me, okay? Of course, that had to be caught that I said that it conceived me. Ah, okay. Yesterday, that shocking experiment convinced me that the phone wave, name subject to change, was also a time machine. That escalated fast. But Kurisu didn't seem willing to accept the results. She just started screaming. I forgot to put the voice of the game on, but no one spoke except for me, so it's fine. As an American, we can't read and appreciate you reading for us. Thank you, thank you. I mean, it makes sense because it's my main character's internal monologue, right? And everything else is voiced. So it would be pretty weird that every time that there's like this internal monologue part, we just give silent, right? So of course I'm voicing the internal monologue. When he's speaking for himself, I don't do that. Also, yeah, your education system sucks. Someone needs to read for you. Then she took a mad dash out of the lab. It was like she couldn't get out of here fast enough. As for Mayuri, she was depressed about her chicken and bananas, so she skipped her daily costume sewing and went home. Grudges over food run deep, I guess. I knew you were Okabe all along, of course. I'm equally delulu in some topics, so yeah, that makes sense. Winter leaves the lab empty, save for Daru and me. Our enthusiasm shot through the roof when we realized that the phone wave, named Subject to Change, had tremendous hidden potential. We nearly died of excitement after successfully sending an email to the past. So we stayed up all night doing experiments to confirm whether or not the phone wave, named Subject to Change, is indeed a time machine. The results, however... We went to the supermarket and stocked up on a wide variety of items. We tossed each of them into the phone wave, named Subject to Change, but everything failed. No change. Nothing happened. After the experiment where the discharge phenomenon occurred, everything warmed up normally. No jellification. Suddenly, we couldn't get anything to happen, and we still have no idea why. First, let's review the problems revealed by the last run of experiments. Problem 1. Electrical discharge safety precautions. We removed everything flammable from the development room to reduce the risk of fire. We also prepared 2 fire buckets full of water, just in case. That is an amazing idea! Great job, Okabe! You have a freaking development room full of stuff that is electrical. Or like, okay, you said that you removed everything flammable, right? But I guess there's still like a computer that is plugged into freaking electricity socket. You have your microwave that is also plugged in electricity socket, and you want to pour water on that if anything goes wrong. Great idea, great idea. We might follow the footsteps of Makise Kurisu from the first iteration. But that's not a fundamental solution. We'll keep an eye out from now on, but if things get dangerous, we should seriously consider relocating our experiments. Problem 2. Mass increase. When the discharge phenomenon occurs, the phone wave, named Subject to Change, suddenly gains mass for unknown reasons. Because of this, the microwave broke the table and made a dent in the floor. To deal with the issue, we placed the microwave on the floor. We spread cushions and blankets underneath. This hides the hole in the floor too. It's only temporary fix though. If we make any more holes, Mr. Brown is quite capable of raising my rent. And that's to say nothing of the calamity it will cause if it falls through the floor. Anyway, we need to find the source of the mass increase. If amateurs like us even can, that is. Famously, blankets are resilient to fire, I know, right? And the pillows. And not like the floor is freaking wooden, right? Like, you can see that it's literally wooden panels, or worse, it's like the plastic panels, which is even more flammable. So yeah, that definitely looks like a room that you could just like throw water buckets in case of a freaking fire. But the first 2 problems pale before the third. The last problem is critical. Until we solve it, we can't even really experiment with the phone wave, named Subject to Change. Problem 3. We're not even sure of the necessary conditions to send email to the past. No matter how many times we tried, we couldn't pin down a single condition. We spent the entire night doing trial and error. We tried over 40 different things, but not once could we reproduce the discharge phenomenon. I had the idea that opening the microwave door was the key. That theory was proven false. There might be something else I'm missing, but for now, we are at an impasse. We started off in high spirits, but grew more and more frustrated as time progressed, which brings us to the present. Honestly, I gave up. That's why I spent the entire morning lazing about like this. Another mail pops on my phone. You sleep too much. I haven't gotten a reply yet. Are you still as asleep? You sleep too much, Okabe-kun. You're living like an old man. Well, I guess I'm not one to talk mal. Anyway, let me know when you have something on the IBN 5100. Pretty please, Moeka. Okay. I've been getting way too many of these since yesterday. They're all from Shining Finger, the woman called Kiryu Moeka. I've never used email this often before. Even Mayuri only sends me 1 or 2 a day, and she's a teenage girl. Frankly, this is starting to get on my nerves. I saw how fast Shining Finger typed. That should have been enough to tip me off that she was a male demon. I was careless. It's too much of a pain to reply, so I ignore it. I finish up my bottle of Dr. P, my stomach gargles. I haven't eaten anything since yesterday. I'm so hungry I don't even feel like showering. I call out to Daru, who's hammering on the keyboard. That freaking looks like a grenade. I see so many highly flammable things here, and they all seem to be, or at least majority of them seem to be plugged. Mayuri, Mayu, she's spending money is getting dangerously low. You and Daru need to chip in to sometimes. You don't want to get between me and my food. Reply. You eat too much anyway. Go on a diet before it's too late. Send. What is doing on the computer? What is doing on the computer anyway? What is he doing on the computer anyway? I'm curious, so I casually peek over his shoulder. I can't believe you sent that to the poor girl. I mean, Okabe is an ass, right? We've already learned that much about him. He's an ass. And he's an ass towards Mayuri too. There's an image of a futuristic looking facility. I've never seen this before. That looks like LJS. LJAC, sorry. Richly colored cords crawl through a gigantic octagonal tunnel like the interior of a spaceship from a science movie. Based on the height of the people in the picture, the tunnel looks to be more than 10 meters tall. Incidentally, the people don't look Japanese. Daru sighs heartily. I don't know if the blank look in his eyes is from sleepiness, exhaustion, or if something's just wrong with him. The Large Hadron Collider sure is cute. Okay. So Daru is batting for 2D team, 3D team, and Large Hadron Collider. Is that an incantation? No, a secret technique? I grab Daru's relaxed shoulders and wring them out. Oh, whoa, whoa. I mean, for someone who claims to be a genius in terms of physics, not knowing what Large Hadron Collider is?
その施設の実験装置略称は LHC マジ燃えるからおぬぬめ
It's seriously more recommend
お前人でないものにも性欲をねえよでもなんつうの見ててワクワクするっつうのニヤニヤできるっつうのそんな感じってあるやん
Oh my god, Daru.
工場や高速道路の高架下がたまらないとか言っていたな。そうそう、あれと一緒。
That reminds me of those people who are attracted to stuff like roller coasters. Have you seen the curves on the LGC?
節操がなさすぎる。
2D, 3D, and even inanimate objects.
ジャンル分けして自分で興味の対象を狭める方がもったいなくね。
I mean, he has a point. Why would we limit our interest? The bro is built like a truck and he is. And yet, you'll do anything to avoid the things that don't interest you, hypocrite. That a name. I've seen it somewhere and recently. Where was it again? Oh, of course.
ジョン・タイター。ああ、ジョン・タイター。オカリンが言ってたのって今アットチェンで祭りになってるやつのことだったんだな。
Okay, so for whoever was not here before, in our original timeline, or this is how we feel right now, there was an incident of John Titor who appeared in the US a few years ago. He was claiming to be someone from the future, he was predicting stuff, and he was mildly accurate, and then he freaking disappeared. And after our small incident with multiple realities, people forgot about that part when he was already around us like 10 years ago. And he reappeared, and we are the only people who remember him. And there's like 12 Google results under his name, and in the past it was like 1,000, 100,000 and stuff.
それは偽物である可能性もある。俺が言っているジョン・タイターは10年前に現れた方だ。
10年前にも現れたん？同一人物？
I had hoped that Dad would remember, but no such luck.
とにかくジョン・タイターがセルンのことについて触れていた。
I don't remember all of it, but there's one thing I'm sure of.
タイターはこんな予言を残した。すなわち2034年までにセルンが
Actually, I didn't check what time in game is it now. I mean, like, what year?
おお、タイムマシーン。まさにタイムリーな話題じゃん。でもそれって10年前じゃなくて、今のタイターも言ってた気がする。
10年前だろうが今だろうがどちらでもいい。それより気にならないか、ダル。この奇妙な符号はシュタインズゲートの選択である可能性が高い。
タイターって信頼できるん？
信頼できるかできないかはどうでもいいのだ。
2010?
タイムマシンという
Given the technology, I can agree with that. Because they still, I mean, they can already do photos on their phones and send them. They can browse internet. Yeah, that makes sense. Because, like, I mean, the flip phones were always more popular in Japan, right? But yeah, I think that would be correct. He also said how, like, the CRTs are in the not trending anymore because we have LCDs now. Vigor returns to my body. Curiosity truly is the greatest delicacy for a mad scientist like me. Anyway, the phone wave, name subject to change, experiment has hit a dead end for now, so it shouldn't matter if I make a little detour for this.
OK。僕のセルンフォルダが火を吹くぜ。
My CERN folder is smoking hot.
セルンは世界最大の素粒子物理学の研究施設だよ。ヨーロッパ素粒子物理学研究所だとか、欧州素粒子原子核研究機構みたいな通称で呼ばれることもある。スイスとフランスの国境近く、ジュネーブ郊外にあってさ、古いところだと HTML や HTTP、ワールドワイドウェブを生み出
It's
したところ
famous as the birthplace of HTML, HTTP, and the World Wide Web.
ワールドワイドウェブだと。それってインターネットの？
No, he means freaking spiders, man. CERN invented that? All I know about CERN is that what I read in Titor's book. I never knew that they were that amazing.
日本じゃそんなに馴染みはないけど、日本の研究チームも現在進行形で参加してたりするのだぜ。
セルンはどんな研究を？
基本的には素粒子物理学かな。世界でも唯一セルンしか持ってない超でかい実験装置を持ってるんだ。いわゆる粒子加速器ってやつ。低速汎用子蓄積リング。
Aren't they building like a new one recently?
大型電子陽電子コライダー。
What will replace the Hadron Collider? The Future Circular Collider, as it's called, would sit in a tunnel 91 kilometers in circumference, more than 3 times the size of the LJC. Oh, so they're building it. Now we know.
で、ラスボスは世界最大を誇る LHC ラージハドロンコライダータン。
It's definitely after 2008, or maybe slightly before it, because they first flipped the switch in 2008. So somewhere around that time, I would say. Daru doesn't seem to notice my shock. He just brings up the next image.
LHC はセルンの地下にある全長約27キロのサークル状トンネルに設置された陽子同士をそのトンネルで加速させて衝突させることで未知の素粒子
Do you mean in Texas it was always in CERN? Wait a second. Collider what? Particle collider in Texas. Okay, we're gonna learn again. There we go. Oh, the superconducting super collider. Of course, it had to have the word super in the name twice because it's American. Also nicknamed Desertron. I'm leaving. I'm leaving this room. Was a particle accelerator complex under construction in the vicinity of... How do you even pronounce it? In Texas. Its planned ring circumference was... So it's smaller than the one that they're currently building, right? Because they want to make it 91 kilometers in circumference, and here we have like 87, so it's smaller, so it's not so super. The CERN one is better, just saying. So it was formally discussed in 1984. Why was it super? Why was it? So the project was cancelled by the US Congress in 1993. Super uncool, still sounds cool, it does. So they had financial issues for that one. Wait, the end of the need to prove the supremacy of American science with the collapse of the Soviet Union and the end of the Cold War believed that many smaller scientific experiments of equal merit could be founded for the same cost. Congress' desire to generally reduce spending, the reluctance of Texas, Governor Ann Richards, and President Bill Clinton's initial lack of support for the project began during the administrations of Richards' predecessor Bill Clements and Clinton's predecessors Ronald Reagan and George J. Walker Bush. The project cancellation was also eased by opposition from within the scientific community. Prominent condensed matter physicists testified before Congress opposing the project. They argued that although the SC would certainly conduct high-quality research, it was not the only way to acquire new fundamental knowledge, as some of its supporters claimed, and was so unreasonably expensive. Scientific critics of the SSC pointed out that basic research in other areas such as condensed matter physics and materials science was underfunded compared to the high-energy physics, despite the fact that those fields were more likely to produce applications with technological and economical benefits. I see. The closing of the SSC had adverse consequences for the southern part of the Dallas-Fort Worth metroplex, contributing to a mild recession, especially in those parts of Dallas which lay south of the Trinity River. When the project was cancelled, 22.5 kilometers of tunnel and 17 shafts to the surface were already dug, and nearly $2 billion had already been spent on the massive facility. Although the project was cancelled, the main site was deeded to Ellis County, Texas, and the county tried numerous times to sell the property. The property was sold in August to an investment group, Collider Data Center LLC, led by late J.B. Hunt. In 2009, Collider Data Center had contracted the GVA Collie to market the site as a data center. In 2012, the chemical company Magna Blend bought the property and facilities in the face of some opposition from the local community. The buildings in the facility, which had become prime spots for thieves and drug parties, were renovated and were reopened in 2013. The facility makes a range of oil-specific products for the energy service industry. Yeah, the Super Collider. You could have the glory, but it was never meant to be. Did I mention I actually have a friend that I went to school with that is actually working on LNGC? She's having like a PhD in physics, and she worked at so many like nuclear sites, and she's like the particle physician. That is pretty cool. That's a big circle. And the new one is gonna be bigger. That is insane. But I'm looking forward to whatever they're gonna do with it. Not even kidding. We're back. We're back here. Its purpose is to smash protons together in the hope of creating unknown elementary particle reactions. They started experimenting last year. So it's around 2009, I would say. Oh no, those mini black holes will swallow the Earth. The universe is in danger. Mini black holes. I'm pretty sure Titus at this time machine used mini black holes. Are the things he said about CERN true? What's the possibility of that happening? I mean, I wouldn't say, like, some people unironically believe that we are jumping timelines every time they pull the switch. Every single time. Like, there's people who actually unironically believe that. We can talk about it after I'm like done with this day, because I don't think I'm gonna go for much further today, given that I was dead sick and I still am, and I had a very long day. You believe it? That was like the other rabbit hole I came into the other day when I was doom scrolling. When there's smoke, there's fire. If I remember correctly, Titor claimed that CERN began time machine research in 2001. In 2034, they completed a time machine. Right now, it's 2010. It's 2010, you were right, Flankada. If they actually started the research, it would have been 9 years ago. According to their official announcements, they only began experimenting in 2008. That's suspicious. Of course, that's assuming Titor's story is true. Some of Titor's predictions were on the mark, but most weren't. I'm also perplexed by how everyone around me seems to have forgotten about Titor's 2000s appearance. There's something important in Titor's tale. Or at least I wanted there to be. I take out my phone and put it to my ear.
て驚くな。悪の陰謀の匂いを嗅ぎつけた。
He's so special. He is so insanely special.
ジョン・タイターとセル。その2つの言葉から俺が言いたいことは分かってもらえるはずだ。ああ、そうだ。奴らは機関とつながりがある可能性が高い。偶然だと？おいおい、あまり俺を失望させるなよ。何？根拠だと？そうだな。あえて言えば、ささやくのだよ。
Whisper of my mad scientist intuition.
奴らは世界を滅ぼそうとしている。ああ、ミニブラックホールによってだ。
I mean,
もしもその技術を
in the
私が
past
横取りすることが
episode
で
of
きたら
us playing Stein games, he was the one who wanted to destroy the world.
当然
At
な。
least for a bit.
俺を誰だと思っている？全てはシュタインズゲートの選択だよ。L、サイン、コム。
I put away my phone, then turned to find Dado giving me an exasperated look.
お前は一体誰と戦っているんだ？
My
ダリル、
demons.
俺たちのやるべきことは一つだ。
やるべきこと？なんぞ。
なんぞではない。引き返すな。そこは全てを組んでにやりと笑うのだ。
You're supposed to agree like you know exactly what I'm talking about. I wanted him to say something like, well, why the hell not? So what's in it for me? And then we would continue like this, grinding slyly the whole time. A week's worth of potato chips. 10 days. You sure are a glutton. The dive makes you a hungry man. Deal. Get started. You got it, boss. Or something like that. Yep, a real cool conversation. But the real world Daro just purses his lips.
オカリンはいつも説明不足なんだっつうの。かっこつけるより先に分かるように話してくれ。
Work me here.
お前はスーパーハッカーだ。
ハカーって言うな。せめてハッカーにして。
At least say hi.
あとはわかるな。
いや全然。
I can smell something weird. I can smell something that unironically smells like if someone tried to cook Cheetos. And maybe my smell is off. Could it be the case? Like who would cook freaking Cheetos?
セルにハッキングしろ。
Looking to start. Daro stares at me in disbelief.
それはひょっとしてギャグで言っているのか？
誰？お前ならできる。奴らの悪事を暴き、タイムマシンについてのヒントを手に入れろ。
But you know, we watched hobby horsing today for an hour. An hour of hobby horsing, and I had chills of cringe going down my spine. Right? And Okada is still not giving me that. Don't judge me, but I have put Cheetos on a pizza before cooking. Let me think about it. What flavor of Cheetos? I mean, this is just out of curiosity. I mean, I can see how it was fine. It could be like a comfy food even. Gives extra crisp. The only thing I would be worried about is that it would get soggy, like right, like the Cheetos would get soggy during cooking, and it wouldn't be like crispy enough. But I would totally see putting a Cheetos on a pizza after cooking, so it actually has the crisp, and the crisp is secure. When I was in junior high school, and that friend of mine that is currently working on CERN, I've spent like a lot of time at her house, and her mom was making amazing gooseberry jam. And she was permanently having sandwiches for school with this gooseberry jam. And we noticed one day that it actually tastes amazing if you put green onion lace inside of it, inside of that sandwich. It was so good. We were eating it like crazy. As a Mexican, we put everything in a tortilla, and Cheeto taco is pretty good, I see. Dastardly deeds.
電話レンジカッコ仮をタイムマシンとして使えるようにするか、このままただのダサくとしてラボの倉庫で眠らせることになるか、今が分岐点だ。マジで言ってんの？俺はいつでもマジである。
If that's your problem, Okada, you're always serious. I looked Daru straight in the eye as I answer. Looks like that made him understand my position. Daru sweeps the garbage off his desks and sits up straight. Suddenly, Daru is bursting with energy. It's like his earlier lethargy was a lie.
報酬のポテチ1週間分はスイスの銀行に振り込んでおく。
I'll deposit a week's supply of potato chips into your Swiss bank. That surely works. Daru doesn't respond. He's already deep in concentration. Like, bro spent this entire day in bed, right? Right? And now he just put like a lot of work on his like friend, and he's just like, I'm gonna go to bed, bye. Like, this is exactly his approach. I lie down on his sofa and let the cackling of Daru's keyboard lull me to sleep. I wake up to the twilight sun streaming in through the window. I got an email. A refreshing breeze blows in, softly brushing my cheek. That is exactly where I left him before I fell asleep. He's sitting in exact same position. Unemployed king. It's also like their holidays, right? They mentioned that they are on vacation. They just need to go to some like lectures. Not much has changed beside his typing speed. What is our email? Faris. Original sin level rising to 180. Kyoma. When operating in a mundane world, you're supposed to be discreet, yeah? Ah, that's the cat girl. Okay, so we need to do it properly. Kyoma, when operating in the mundane world, you're supposed to be discreet, yeah? You don't want them to notice you. Remember, this summoning has taken 2,000 years to prepare. If it fails, everything will be ruined. Although I suppose that might make things interesting, yeah? Okay, what do we respond to? This one. Reply. Is the church still devoted to that fool errand? Even if they manage to resurrect their messiah, humanity's faith is less than 17% of what it was in his time. Mankind does not need a... Wait a second. I wanted to read that. No. Mankind doesn't need the discreet old gods to save them. Okay, send. It's a funny thing, like, I'm watching a lot of Chinese shows, right? And what is something that always throws me off is like, you have like these immortals or like gods, and they suffer like some injury or something like that, and then they're discussing about how they feel. I'm feeling like I'm at 15% of my true power. And I'm like, bro, how do you know that? How do you know you are at a 15%? Oh, and now he's muttering to himself. I guess he hasn't had any success at hacking yet. I look around the room, but I can't find Mayuri. Maybe she's not coming today. I mean, I called her fat. I guess food-related grudges really do run deep. I stand up and stretch. I don't want to bother Daru, so I don't say anything to him. I take a cold Dr. Pot out of the fridge and quench my thirst. Then I throw myself back down onto the sofa and start browsing ad channel on my phone. And what perfect timing! Tiger is currently posting in a thread. Please look it up and learn more. It seems you're still clinging to preconceived notions of time. Time does not simply run from past to future like a car on a one-way street. To be more specific, the laws of causality do not allow contradictions to occur. If the result of an event, the effect, is changed, the event itself, the cause, also changes to prevent paradox. That's why there are so few people who can observe changes in divergence. Divergence being the world's percent difference from the standard. Die troll, you claim to be a time traveler without any proof. Stock threads, please, I'm counting on you, Mr. Time Traveler. If you can't observe changes in divergence, then how can you possibly measure it? Oh, I know, your time machine has a magical device that measures it for you, lol. And you still haven't explained how a research institution conquers the world. Details, please. Oh no, humanity is doomed. What's science done, JPG? Well, Newt's responding seriously to troll thread. This title guy's a shitty troll. Don't you people have anything to offer besides insults? Oh, that's from me. How about contributing to the discussion, plebeian scum? If you assume that the time doesn't flow in a straight line, then the idea of time travel is much easier to swallow. In such a scenario, a time machine traveling to the past doesn't need to fight against the flow of time. I say Titor's points have merit. By the way, Titor, I would like to know more about CERN. What can you tell us about their current activities? Tell me which horse wins next, Emperor's Cup? I'll bet my entire life savings. Will he respond? Because we're not gonna read the trolls. But it seems like it's only trolls then. No one seems particularly interested in what I said about time not flowing in a single direction. That's proof that your preconceptions are deeply ingrained. Honestly, it bothers me that you simply accept it as a truth. I'm starting to understand why CERN was able to take over so easily. Whenever a major event causes divergence to change, the timeline is reconstructed to prevent paradoxes from occurring. For example, let's say that the major event causes this world line to diverge into a new world line, call it the world line B. On world line B, I'm afraid to say, ad channel never existed. As the timeline is reconstructed, all of your memories of reading and posting on ad channel will disappear to be replaced by memories of you doing something else. In other words, by changing the present, you change the past. I wrote about CERN yesterday. The only other thing I can say is that you must not believe in their lies. They have already succeeded at creating micro black holes. I desire only to quench my intellectual thirst. Unlike you closed-minded fools, I will reserve judgment until after I've heard what Titor has to say. And then I will make a contact with Titor and acquire his time machine for myself. The great mad scientist wholly in coma will have the last laugh. Suck it, sleazy bags. And then there's a bunch. Is this how you reply to a specific person? Thank you for showing me. Reconstruction of the timeline and alteration of people's memories. I think they're essentially the same thing. Why are you so intent on saying they're different? With a few exceptions, nobody can keep their memories across world lines. They're reconstructed along everything else with divergent changes. What's a road warrior? Do you remember that one dream that I have? Like, that actually reminds me of it. So in that dream, I was with my ex, and we had to go to like some like administration building, and he was the one like driving me there because I don't have a driving license. And when I went to that, like, he was like in a car on the parking lot, and I went into the building and they showed me some like notebooks, diaries, photos, and some of them I recognized and some of them were like completely foreign to me. Like, there was a diary of me. I never managed to like stuck to keeping a diary. There was photos of me I couldn't recollect in any way, and I was super confused. And I went out of the building and I was looking for a car and I couldn't find it. And then I noticed that the sky was actually defragmentating. It was like pixelating into nothingness. No. Sorry, rewind that. You've never heard that part. We need to go a little bit earlier. So I was going to like through the crosswalk, and there was like this guy standing next to me, the guy that I've never seen in my life. And I was looking in the sky, and then I saw like this huge, like, it's not cyberpunk, it's the other one, the steampunk fish in the sky, that it was slowly floating in the sky. And then it started to collapse and it crashed onto the ground. And then I've heard in my head that the protocol has been breached and the emergency procedure of the reset to the last saving point will start now. And then the sky started to defragmentate itself. And I looked at this guy that was standing next to me, and he looked at me, and it seemed that we were the only person seeing that and hearing that, because everyone else behaved like nothing happened. And we run to the next, like, to the other side of the street. We didn't know what to do. And like, the building was already like defragmentating as well. So I ran a few stores up and I reached to like the defragmentating thing to see what will happen. And I could not feel the pain, but I could see like my fingers slowly disappear. So I pulled back, I ran downstairs again to tell them, no, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt, so at least there's that. We are safe from the pain as the world ends. And then the defragmentation reached my head and everything went dark. And the next thing I've heard is like, the reset to the last saving point has been complete. And I opened my eyes and I was again with my ex in a kitchen that I didn't recognize after I woke up, but I recognized it in my dream. And I was making a freaking grocery shopping list. So my saving point was when I was making the grocery list. Yeah, that was such a weird dream. But this kind of reminds me like of this like multiple timelines. Like, it kind of fits the plot of Steins Gate. Patent the story before Hollywood steals it, and Netflix is probably already like making a show on that one. But yeah, I had like a few very, very weird like dreams like that, with like alternate realities too. When I was a kid, I had a dream that I was in a hotel, and every time you used the elevator, you ended up in a different world. That was a pretty cool dream. I also have some dreams that come back to me. Like, after years, I have like another like episode of a dream, or I completely like redream it again. Another cool dream that I had that also goes well with the Steins Gate plot is the dream where I won some lottery or something, and I was able to go to this boat where there was supposed to be a big party, but it turned out that this boat was basically like a TARDIS. Like, it could travel to space and time. And the people I was with were like permanently skipping timelines. So we were like, one day we were at the Grand Canyon, the other day we were somewhere else. And one guy got drunk and he broke the steering wheel and he still started the machine. And the machine started to behave very weird. And first of all, we ended up in Breslau. I've never been to Breslau in my life, but we ended up in Breslau during Second World War. And the moment we came out, the boat was also like changing its shape. It was kind of like a Haurus castle, like house moving castle, so it could be perceived in a different way. So in the Second World War, it was just like a truck. And we came out of the trunk of the truck. And then I had to explain to those very, very patient Nazi German officers in my dream that we are not illegal immigrants. And we are not the people they're searching for. They did not want to listen, to be honest. But we managed to escape and get back to the truck. And like we started the truck again, and it crashed. But it crashed on a very weird planet where everything was geometrical. Like we were the only beings and things around that were not purely geometrical forms. Like in a sense of like, you know, the square triangles and the 3D versions of them. That was also like super weird. Don't ask me why I have dreams like that, but I do, and they are sometimes just... I just wake up and I'm like, what the hell? Anyone home? I also had like a lot of dreams where I had superpowers and I could be like almost like omnipotent, but at the time, the plot of Minecraft movie, if it was good, I haven't seen the Minecraft movie. So I also had like a lot of dreams where I had like superpowers and I was like basically omnipotent and I could change the reality or do like whatever I wanted. And then there was like this crucial part of the dream where I had a chance to save someone. I had the chance to change something and I could not use my powers at all. In my entire life, only after I finished therapy, I had a dream once where I had superpowers again. I was like very happy about it, and then there was like a cataclysm coming and someone was like, yeah, why don't you use your powers to help us, to save us? And I was like, there's no point, because every time I try to do that in a dream it doesn't work, and I'm explaining in a dream that it doesn't work in my dreams like that. And then it turned out that I actually could have used my powers. So that was pretty nice. That was pretty empowering. And that kind of showed me that, yeah, that was a good time to finish the therapy. I'm immersed in a heated internet argument when an unfamiliar voice interrupts me. The door opens and a girl peeks inside. I recognize her. It's the girl I met yesterday at the Brown Tube workshop. Yeah, I know that. When our eyes meet, she smiles. Darius typing gets even faster. Looks like he's in the zone. It would be a bad idea to disturb him with our voices. I nod to the girl and hurry outside. Why do we have to be sneaky? Oh, because our super hacker is doing his job right now. What was this girl's name again? I think it was something like Aruma or Amore. Alright, Amane. Amane Suzuha. Part-time warrior. Hello, it's Georgie. She knows a lot. I mean, it's not that hard to know a lot because he spills the tea. a lot. I'm surprised she just remembered that. I raise my guard and spring into praying mantis stance. But Suzuha just stares blankly.
下のポストにそう書いてあった。
That's what it said on your mailbox.
そうか。
I lower my guard. Why didn't she just say so?
知られたからにはしょうがない。簡単に説明しておこう。ただし、
I'll give you the short explanation. Okay, so it's not that secret if she is allowed to have an explanation. Suzuha nods firmly. Is it just me or are her eyes gleaming?
我ら未来ガジェット研究所は世界を影から操る闇の機関に対抗し、その支配構造を破壊するために活動しているのだ。ふーははははは。
Ha 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 ha.
へえ。その闇の機関ってセルン？
そうだ。
おお、やっぱそうなの？あいつら抱きすべき連中だよね。
Oh, she's also a conspiracy theorist. She nods to herself for some reason. And contemptible. I thought I was the only one who uses word like that in a normal conversation.
なぜ俺たちが今まさにセルンにハッキング中だと知っている。
How did you know we were hacking into CERN?
ハッキング中なの？今？
Me and my big mouth.
いいからこちらの質問に答えろ。なぜ俺たちとセルンの関係を知っている？
ああ、いや実は昼間話し声を聞いちゃってさ。
If you stand here, you can hear stuff from the window. Doomed. The window. Come to think of it, it was open and Daru and I were talking loudly. But can you really hear us from here? I look up to the second floor. The window is still fully open, but I can't hear a thing. I guess Daru's working quietly. I look down. There's an unfamiliar bicycle parked in front of the brown tube workshop. One of those mountain bikes. Its frame is all sparkly, its tires mostly clean, and it's probably new. It looks pretty fast, but whose is it?
私、昨日からここで働き出したんだけど、
Suzuha opens the brown tube workshop door with a wry smile.
これが予想以上に暇でさ。今日だけで4、5回は外に出たね。客来ないかなーって店の前で索敵しちゃったね。
Reconnoiter? Now there's a word you don't hear in a casual conversation. I'm pretty sure it means to perform reconnaissance, to scout an area and gather intelligence. Is she some kind of secret agent? I follow Suzuha into the store.
その時に2階から君たちの話し声が聞こえちゃったわけよ。気になってついネットで調べちゃった。セルンの黒い噂についてもバッチリ知ってるよ。
Damn, we were careless. Looks like we need to close that window when we discuss sensitive matters from now on. But if we do that, the lab will turn into scorching hell. Damned if I do, damned if I don't.
とにかく絶対に他言無用だぞ。
Or else, men in black will raid us.
わかった。これでも口は固いから任せといて。
Suzuha grins and thumps her chest confidently. All is quiet inside the brown tube workshop. That gigantic TV isn't on. Mr. Brown's not here either.
店長はどこへ？
たった今、君のテレビの修理が終わって出てったよ。
Probably went to see the chipmunk. He disappears during business hours every now and then. Whenever I ask him where he's going, he always says something like, I'm picking my beloved daughter up from school, or my beloved daughter has a cold with a huge grin on his face. He dotes on her too much. It probably just annoys her. Anyway, just how responsible you can be to neglect work to see your daughter. He used to put a back soon sign on the door whenever he left, but now he has Suzuha to take care of things while he's gone.
つうわけで、直ったテレビはこれね。
Suzuha lightly taps the TV on the counter.
お代は1000円でいいってさ。
Damn the manager, I bet he gave it to us just so he could charge repair fees. I reluctantly take a bill out of my wallet and hand it to Suzuha. She takes out a receipt. Apparently it was already written out.
毎度あり。じゃあ持ってっていいよ。
まさか一人で持っていけと？
え？違うの？
Didn't you bring it here by yourself?
でも一人だったんでしょ？
Don't you know that it takes 10 times more effort to go upstairs than down? Defying gravity is not an easy task, woman.
手伝ってもいいけど。そっか。もう力仕事も女がやる。
We're already in a day age where women do physical labor. She mutters, her tone pensive. How sarcastic of her.
誰も貴様に手伝ってもらおうなどとは思っていない。というより、貴様のような女子に手伝ってもらうことなど、この俺のプライドが許さん。
おお。
Applause.
今の男らしいじゃん。私惚れちゃうかも。
騙されるものか。貴様、嘘をついている。
なんで嘘って思うの？
それは、この俺の能力。
Hollering gentleman. This power allows me to see through lies. Liars appear to glow red, then they die.
能力？
Suzuha's eyes pop, but then she clears her throat as if to hide her surprise.
超能力的なもの？
When I nod, she whispers into my ear.
あのさ、君みたいな能力者って他にもあまたにいる？
いるわけがなかろう。この
It's not I'm special. He admits that he is special. I thrust my chest out as far as possible to display my majesty.
そっか、あまたにはいないのか。びっくりした。でもいるって時点ですごいな。やっぱ
Maybe CERN is the reason there aren't more where I came from. Where are you from? After muttering some nonsense to herself, she finally nods in understanding.
戦闘になれば相手の嘘を見抜く力なんて意味なくない？
I mean, I would say yes if you can see a person marking their hit, and you know that they lie, you know that they're marking the hit.
やっぱ 1000m 級の長距離狙撃を命中させられるとか、いかに効率よく相手の関節決められるかとかの方が重要だ。
Can't believe I have this game installed for 3 years and still never launched it. See, at some point you will not have to launch it. I mean, you could, right? Like, even if you watch me going full playthrough, you can still make some different choices, right? By the way, how is your Honkai Star Rail story going? What the hell is she talking about? Is she a survival game otaku? No, wait, don't tell me.
貴様、
Still going slowly.
機関のヒットマンだな。
I mean, think about it. You could end up like Jyosuka. I told him because you might remember that I terrorized him a bit, right? After I went to a few of his streams, I noticed that he has like this redeem where he did those push-ups, and I made his chat bully him with this. So I made them gang up on him on multiple occasions right now. And they spam it, so he has to do like 500 push-ups on a stream. So I promised him that he will not be bullied for a month if he finishes his Honkai Star Rail story. I still need to check because I was sick, so I didn't check that much what other people were up to. But I wrote today on his Discord for people to snitch on him if he's done it. See, so it could be worse. It could be like, if you don't do the Honkai Star Rail story, then you would have to do like 15 push-ups is all I can offer, maybe even 10. Bro, I can do like 3, and right now I wouldn't even be able to do a half. I have a chest pains right now, and I don't know if it's my body just giving up or if it's something else. But I'm just sitting here, and with one hand I'm just like holding my rib. Ah. So if I suddenly grow silent, then you know what it is. I'm dead. Just ping Hoga or Zippy on Discord. If I stop responding, just ping one of them to contact my mom. You're an organization assassin, aren't you? You must be the one they call Miss Golga. With my back pain, push-ups will just finish me. Understandable. Also, it's funny because they would be like calling my mom, who's literally downstairs playing Anno right now, just to tell her your daughter is dead upstairs.
いや、誰にも雇われてないし。っていうか、ゴルゴって何？
He's trying to gloss things over me with an insincere smile. Her confusion is suspicious, such a sad death. Died to chest pain while gaming. Sprawled on the floor. That reminds me, I think I remember her saying some awful disturbing things when we first met yesterday.
それにさ、君の能力って他にもあるの？
あったとしても
There's no way I would tell a hitman hired to kill me. Ah.
君を殺しなんてしないってば。
I still didn't check the email, right?
自殺行為にも程がある。力を秘めたるもの。相手に何とでも言え。
Like, burning tension runs between us. Enemies to lovers? Anyone? Our eyes meet. Invisible sparks are scattered. Yeah, it's gonna be enemies to lovers. Oh, we got so many emails. And then an email arrives to break the stalemate. I turn my attention away from Suzuha. The ringtone is starting to piss me off. It's most likely from that male demon shining finger. I can tell without even checking. Okay. Lukaka. Kurisu is the enemy to lover girl. There can be both. Also, Kurisu is a tsundere. So she's not like a full enemy. Lukaka, I made sweets, but he's a guy. I baked cookies today, but he's a guy. I had everyone in my family eat some and got their seal of approval, but he's a guy. Would it be okay if I baked some for your lab friends, master? But he's a guy. Oh, and it would be great if you could teach me some more techniques with Samidara whenever you have time. P.S. I managed 10 practice swings today, but he's a guy. Oh, Kambe-kun, I want you to reply to me already. I've been waiting, you know, and please tell me the super high-cast address when you can. If we don't get cracking, someone else might get the IBN 5100 first. Moeka. Shh, it's getting ridiculous. She's got some stalker qualities and maybe split personalities. I shouldn't have given her my address. I look at Suzuha and see her lying on the counter. She's playing with something in the palm of her hand. It looks like a small metal pin. Anyway, how can she be this lazy on her second day? I love CRTs was a lie too, wasn't it?
なんか渋い顔してるね。死亡通知でも来た？
Actually, I wanted to check something. Mail, inbox. Can I respond to anything here? Viewed email sent history at least once. Oh. I mean, I would like to try open address book. Okay, Mayuri. Okay, I cannot interact with that one. Change settings. Change wallpaper. Ooh. Confirm. Let's make it green. No, red. Red fits more. Phone ringtone. Yeah, that fits. Gate of Steiner, pretty. Oh no, we're gonna change to this one. Male ringtone. No, we're gonna keep the main male ringtone as it is. The best song on the OST. Do you know that entire freaking opening that we were watching on the first day of playing this game got muted on Twitch? Copyright claim. I hate it when it happens. Something is part of the game and then it gets muted. And I had to, when I was like, I'll have to like actually cut out entire sequence for the opening from the VOD when I'll be posting it. That sucks.
あ
例えだってば
I was just wondering if I got a death notice. Japanese copyright is extra insane. Yeah, it's the same happened with Persona 5. And yes, I remember we still have to go back to Persona 5. We will. We will. After this one, we will go back to Persona 5, I promise. But we will have some breaks and we will be doing Genshin exploration and just yapping sessions so I don't lose my mind playing one game for such a long time. But yeah, it also like every time I was walking around in Persona 4 and there was this heartbreak song that got muted. And it also mutes some of the songs in Persona 5 and it makes me go insane. How can she say that with a straight face? And what the hell is a death notice anyway? Do those even exist? Persona 4 Ost is love there, I agree. Persona Ost in general, doesn't matter which part of the game, is pretty pog.
似たようなものだ
This girl is hard to get a handle on. I really shouldn't let my guard down around her.
IBN5100 というレトロ PC にやたら執着している女がいてな
Suzuha leaps up as soon as I speak.
IBN5100?
知っているのか
あ、うん。
そうか IBN5100 の都市伝説は有名だったのか
Maybe that retro PC is more popular with female otaku than I thought.
そうそう、都市伝説でした。君はどの程度まで知ってるの？
She seems to be a little bit old right now.
IBN5100 を実際に探し回ってみたが結局秋葉にはなかったというオチは知っている。
そっか。そりゃそうだよね。
How do you know?
いや、知ってるような知ってないようなって感じか。私は知らないけど、遠い知り合いが知ってて、それをちらっと聞いたことがあるみたいな。
She's so insincere now. Another insincere smile. I'm starting to think she's not a very good liar. You can tell she's lying whenever she smiles like that. She's doing the double dot, like the semicolon and a 3 smile. Sure enough, she doesn't offer any other information. She just keeps that insincere smile plastered on her face. Suzuha falls back down onto the counter with a deep sigh. She looks up at me from that position.
IBN5100 についてもさ、興味深い情報教えてあげようと思ったのにな。そんな目で見られたら教える気なくなっちゃった。
そもそも俺は IBN5100 になど興味はない。
I'm more concerned with CERN right now. Solving one of Akiba's mysteries won't topple the organization's resume after all.
貴様を信用できる要素が一つもない。その面白い情報が真実であるかどうかもわからない。
うわ、そこまで言う？
I admit I'm acting kinda sus.
不審だけどね。じゃあさ、教えないけどヒントだけあげるよ。そんで。
And then you'll writhe in agony when you can't figure it out. Truth is, it has a hidden function. A hidden function. That reminds me, I'm pretty sure John Titor from said something like that. I searched through my memories.
確か IBN5100 には独自のプログラミング言語がどうたらこうたら。
嘘！なんで知ってんの？なんで？
I only vaguely remembered, but it looks like I hit the mark. I grin.
能力名サイズハング
Another one of my powers leading question. I can read your heart of hearts.
何それ？反則！
For some reason, Suzuha covers her face with both her hands. She opens her fingers just enough to peek at me. That's not enough to escape my power.
全てはお見通しだ。天音鈴葉観念するがいい。
Okay, we know that. It can decipher IBM's proprietary programming language. Ooh. Now I remember. John Titor said the same thing in 2000, and right after that the IBM engineer officially admitted to the function's existence. The reason Titor traveled to 95 to obtain IBM 5100 was because he needed that function. Maybe Mecha wants to use it too, or maybe not. Shining Finger doesn't seem like the type who'd known about that sort of function. While talking, Suzuha keeps dropping her glance to the metal pin in her hand. She rolls it around with her fingers. I guess that's a habit of hers. So IBMs are super rare? Maybe if I get one, I could sell it for a high price. That could be a good way to raise research funds. But first, I have to deal with CERN. Life in 2036 is very different from what it is today. Most people live on farms growing their own food. All forms of commerce and communication are restricted. There is no travel, no internet, no railroad even. Most people never see another town, let alone a city. Science continues to advance, of course, but the vast majority of people do not benefit from that progress. Technology belongs only to those chosen by CERN and the Committee of 300. It is very peaceful, at least on the surface. There is none of the conflict you see in this era. Yeah, it actually does sound nice. I need an internet. Yeah, as long as I have an internet, I can live completely remotely. I will live without Uber Eats and stuff like that, and without Foodora. I'm fine. I can cook. Just give me online delivery as of like online delivery, as I can get like any groceries I want and internet, and just put me on the farm and I'll be happy. The next post still hits today. There's no war. How is that possible? How did CERN resolve the situation in the Middle East? What have you got against world peace? Sounds to me like CERN is doing humanity a favor. This Titor guy stole a time machine from CERN, didn't he? He's the bad guy here. Die in a fire, terrorist scum. The world in 2036 is governed by CERN. All nations, even America, have disbanded their armies. To put it simply, civilization has returned to an 18th century level of technology and exists under a communist system of government. Except now, that system works flawlessly. Right now, you should be asking yourselves how that is possible. How does a system of a government that collapsed in the 20th century exist without any discontent? The answer to that question is the reason I'm here. Yes, I am a terrorist. There are others like me who fight against CERN. We think of ourselves as the resistance, but there is no denying that our actions are a kind of terrorism. I knew you were a terrorist. How many have you murdered? Stop beating around the bush. You're one of those old men who participated in student riots. Hoi in Kyoma. That would make you no better than Titor. If you're willing to face the consequences, then go right ahead. Tighter question. Did World War III take place as scheduled? Why did you come to this particular time? Did you find an IBM 5100? Will we have any response? As I've already explained, my goal in this time is to change the future. I'm posting here to warn you of what's going to happen. Perhaps convergence will render my efforts meaningless, but if even one person pays attention, that's enough. World War III, is that something I said on a different world line? I would like to talk to you in private. Please email me when you have time. Of course, if anyone else would also like to email me, feel free. Serious inquiries only, please. All I've been getting is hate email. Here's my address once more. So I got his mail address. 20 hours have passed since Daro started hacking. Night gives way to a refreshing summer morning. I glance at Daro while browsing a channel on my phone. He's fidgeting even more. Now his legs are like pistons. His knees move up and down in harmony with the rat-tat-tat of his keyboard. Daru hasn't slept in about 40 hours, but he still won't get off the computer. I was ignoring to ask him if he'd like a break, but his entire body is executing an aura that says, "Don't talk to me." I curl up a bit and return to my phone. My discussions with John Titor just aren't making sense. Not even Titor himself seems to know about the Titor from 10 years ago. It's hard to imagine that everyone on that channel is conspiring against me, but how else can I explain it? Out of options, I decide to email Titor directly, just as he told me to. He audaciously exposed his own address on that channel. I guess that's his way of being bring it on. In my email, I skipped it. The question Titor hasn't even acknowledged the latter. I've only vaguely remembered them, but they basically went like this. In 2015, World War III breaks out. Many people die. By 2036, the world is a nuclear wasteland. John Titor travels to 1975 to obtain an IBN 5100. The IBN 5100 was necessary to revive technology lost in World War III. The IBN has a hidden function, the ability to read IBM's proprietary computer language, which predates APL and BASIC. But only certain IBM engineers are aware of that function, so it does not appear in the manual. In 1998, Titor meets his younger self and his parents in America. John Titor was a soldier who volunteered for this mission. John Titor is an American. Furthermore, in 2000, Titor correctly predicted the outcomes of some future events. The Peruvian coast earthquake in 2001, the election of a new pope, the outbreak of the Iraq War, China's advances in space, and so forth. Though he only talked vaguely about each one, they all came true. On the other hand, other predictions went unfulfilled. For example, the E2K bug, civil war in America, the cancellation of the Beijing Olympics, the inauguration of America's first female president in 2009, and so forth. There's more, but let's leave those aside for now. I'm going to ask him why those predictions didn't come true. Most of your predictions from the back then didn't come true, blah 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 blah. Oh, that's sorry for this sudden email. Sending. Mail sent. I wonder how long will we wait for the answer. If he can't answer to my satisfaction, then the current Titor is an imposter. This is your limited test, John Titor. So what are your true colors? She's not holding any more food grudges. We're safe. Mayuri comes in. Looks like she's forgiven us for experimenting on her food. She's back to her usual smiley self. How did she know that? Though to be accurate, it wasn't 2 nights in a row. I took an afternoon nap yesterday. Mayuri starts fishing through her convenience store bag. And then she takes out canned odin. The canned odin is still warm when she gives it to me. I open the lid right away and eat the beef. Mayuri and I have been together for a long time, so she knows what I like. And when it comes to canned odin, beef is where it's at. Good to deal with the pillow? Have fun as the kid. I'm wishing you good night. No, she loves bananas and chicken, so she'll keep buying them, okay. I consider saying you'll get fat if you only eat frozen foods, but that threat's not very effective against Mayuri, so I hold my tongue. Her high metabolism prevents her from getting fat no matter how much she eats. I envy her with passion. Next, she produces a small box with a rye knit illustration. Rye knit sausage. She sticks out her tongue with a shy giggle. Something tells me that in a few months' time this lab will be neck deep in Upa goods. There's only a few things right now, like the cushion on the sofa, but the number is sure to grow exponentially. He's in the midst of the hard fight. I mean, yeah.
スーパーハッカー魂が
そこハッカーって言わ
Don't
ない
say haka. An empty Diet Cola bottle comes whistling through the air. It hits my head with a nice thunk.
してる
Mayuri and I evacuate to a corner of the lounge and quietly eat the oden.
ハッキングって悪いことなんだよね。マユシーはね、二人にそういうことしてほしくないな。
ダルのスーパーハッカーじゃなくてハッカーとしての腕前使わなければ宝の持ち腐れだ。
Incidentally, it looks like hackers hijacked CERN system back in 2008. We found news articles about it online. That means even the investors of the World Wide Web have holes in their security. With his skills, Daru should have no trouble getting through. Okay, the email. Skyclad. This is Amane Suzuha, first email. Thanks for exchanging addresses with me yesterday. I finally made a friend here. Yay, don't worry. I won't email you too much. And I might be slow to reply to you. I'm kinda new in this email thing. It's okay to laugh at me. Did we really? That wasn't an exchange. You took my address by force. I had no choice but to submit it. Submit. Wait, I kinda want to see... Phone trigger is Z and C. I actually need to do it like this.
それにこれはセルンの悪事を暴くため世界を陰で支配する巨大な闇との
悪いことは悪いことだよ。
She's having the point. Bad things are bad. That's unusual. Mario usually just accepts whatever I say. Well, I admit it, we are doing a bad thing, but there's no way we can stop now. I need to change the subject.
さつま揚げをやるから
I want to trade my sweet potatoes for your beef. If you want to trade, I'd rather have your quail egg.
ふざけるな。俺は牛すじの次にうずら卵が好きなのだ。
マユシーもうずら卵好きだもん。
ちくわで手を打ってくれ。
Was better than sweet potatoes. She's so cute. With that said, I skewer the chikwa and put it in Mayuri's can, and I get her beef in return. Subject change complete. Mayuri really eats up conversations about food. It's so easy to manipulate her. Mwahahaha.
SQL のテーブル一覧さえ手に入れればパスワード特定余裕なんだよ。僕をなめんな。
Daru has started talking to himself. Looks like things are falling into place. Daru really is a super haka. I think this is the first time I've seen him serious. Daru bends himself forward, staring into the screen. But all I see on the screen is the same string of numbers and letters.
おほ来た来た来た。いいよいいよ。ほら観念して俺
You naughty thing, you. How does it feel to be naked? Oh my dear lord.
気分はどうだよ。
His eyes are bloodshot and he started rambling. I feel very weird listening to him like that. Maybe the lack of sleep is getting to him. I would assume so, given his behavior. Daru opens up a new window, types in a 12-character string and slams the enter key. An error sound rings. He quickly deletes the strings and enters a new one. He keeps repeating the sentence until finally, login success.
来た来た。ID とパス一致。ログイン完了だごら。
What enthusiasm!
ダルやったのか。
I mean, he's actually super haka. The smug bastard turns around with an expression of immense satisfaction, as if he's gone into le petit moi. So the little death. Mission complete.
本当か。
すごいね。よくわかんないけど。
Like, just a moment ago, she was like, oh my god, this is a bad thing. Don't do bad things, guys. And now she's like, oh, that's so cool. After 20 hours of agony, it's finally over. To show Daru my appreciation, I toss him an unopened Oden can.
仕事の後のおでん缶って最高すぎだろう。
よくやった。やはりお前は世界最高のスーパーハッカー。
ハッカーな。
ハッカーだ。お前が敵でなくてよかった。
Sad.
それで世界滅亡計画の証拠は見つかったか。
いや、まだ見てねっつーの。繋がっただけ。ここまで来ればあとは楽だけどな。
ならば疲れているところ悪いが早速調べてくれ。きっとあるはずなのだ、陰謀の影が。
はいはい、やりますよ。でもその前におでん缶食わせろ。
After a short meal break, Daru taps on his keyboard more nimbly than before. I mean, Bro was up for quite a while.
どういうこと？
セルンのデータベースに入ってデータのテーブル一覧をゲットしたんよ。そっから11111111とか ABCDEFGH みたいな簡単なパスワードを使ってる関係者にその ID の持ち主がサーバー管理者だったら最高なんだけど、さすがに。
日本語で OK だよ。
Japanese, please.
右に同じく。
Same.
要するにセルンのサーバー管理者のパスだったならセルンの全身を舐め回すように弛緩しまくりだ。
ダルク、エッチだね。
エロい例えをするな。つまり見られる情報。
Yes.
そういうこと。サーバー管理者を特定してパスをゲットするのも時間の問題だけど。
It would be cruel to push Daru any further. It's unfortunate, but overworking him isn't an option. Let him rest so he can regain his energy.
どうやら手に入れた ID は加速器。
サーバー管理者。
He's lusting after not only the LDC but the whole organization. Kind of. It would make a miracle to get a 1 on our first try. How many staff members do you think Serena has?
6000人以上。
That many.
とりあえずこの加速器部門担当者の名前はジャックさんのメールのログをちょろっと覗かせてもらおうよ。
And of course, the emails come up in English. That makes Mayuri's head hurt. It's pathetic to flinch at the mere sight of English.
誰よ、なんと書いてあるのだ。
翻訳しないと。
Need to translate it. That's the job for Dr. Excite. What is Dr. Excite? That boots up translation software and auto-translates the open page. Poor unnatural Japanese shows up. The first line says, Happy New Year. Looks like a New Year's greeting. That email's normal, nothing out of the ordinary.
そのうちサーバー管理者も特定できるのだぜ。
あのね、他人のメールを勝手に見るのってすごく
Just
ご
too
めんなさい
pure.
って気持ちになる。
She sits on the sofa and hugs her giant upakashino with a sigh. I know you're doing something socially unacceptable, however...
俺はとっくに悪の道に踏み込んだ。何の良心の呵責も感じない。
I chose the path of evil.
責任はすべてこの俺が取る。ダリアマユリに罪をかぶせるつもりはない。
うほ、僕オカリンになら掘られてもいい。
それはお断りだ。というわけでダルよ、心置きなく覗き見るのだ。
オカリンって悪いんだ。マユシーは悲しいです。
Just sit there and pretend your hands are clean. Upon further examination, we discover several emails with the title Experiment Report. In English, naturally. Looks like he sends emails like these almost daily.
の実験レポートか。
There could be a hint about time machines in there,
こ
okay?
れ見たら確実にヤバそうだけどな。
That's what his lips say, but his hand still clicks on the email. What comes up is an unintelligible series of symbols.
暗号
さすがに簡単にはいかない。
ま、この程度の暗号を解くのはへでもないがな。
Nice, Subahaka. He's a genius, no doubt. Daru undoes the security in less than 10 minutes. The real-time thing is deciphering the crappy machine translation.
訳すると、はい、ポール。
そういう演技は無用だ。
サイですか。今日付けの実験データをサーバーにアップしておいた。LHC のこいつはまるで猫みたいに気まぐれだが、ここ1ヶ月ほどは驚く。しかし報われない仕事だ
But don't you think this work is unrewarding? This kitten...
こんなこと言うべきか。
Why is it calling it a kitten?
人類史を塗り替える研究は一部の人間の目にしか入らないわけで、もっとも公表されたらされたで、世の中の連中はきっとこう言うだろうさ。今すぐロバート・ゼメキフを。
9年。今のメール、翻訳ミスということはないのか。
I love my hair. Hair tie? Okay, it is what it is. Did Daru notice something unnatural too? He's not joking like he usually does.
翻訳ソフトを信じるならミスはないんじゃね。ところどころ。
だとしたら妙なことになる。LHC が稼働を開始したのは去年の春ぐらいだったはずだ。
おかしいな。
I mean, parts of it were operating earlier, right? The email sent date is this year, 2010, so 9 years ago makes it 2001. Tyler posted this on channel yesterday. The only other thing I can say is that you must not believe in their lies. They have already succeeded at creating micro black holes. If you read between the lines of the email, it sounds like they're doing some sort of secret experiment. Also, Robert Zemeckis is a super famous Hollywood movie director. He directed a trilogy of smash hit time travel movies about 20 years ago. I groan, no way, was I right? CERN's hiding a major secret from the world and is related to time travel?
誰？もっと調べてくれ。
マジでか。
I don't know if Dad was questioning my order or the possibility that CERN might be researching time travel. Either way, he begins tapping on the keyboard again.
どのメールにも Z プログラムって単語がこの数ヶ月で100箇所。これ今 LHC を使っ。
その具体的な内容はブラック。
どっかに資料は。お、見つけ
Dad
た。
opens a PDF attachment.
なんかこれフランスとイギリスとオラン。
国家最高機密。
セルンは国家機関じゃないはずなのに、つうか国家機密ってさすがにまずい。
構わん。詳細を調べろ。
いやいや、バレたらただじゃ済まんし。
But getting off with an apology. Oh, he's still sane.
そうならないようにはして。
だったら何も問題はない。
そりゃどうも。
Dad makes a slightly awkward face as he takes the file about the Z program and feeds it into the translation software. Human is dead. Mismatch. May 14. Because we have already succeeded at creating mini black holes, the report is omitted. First, all of a sudden, Tyler's prediction became a reality. This is what Tyler was referring to when he posted "Don't believe in what they say." Tyler doesn't take his wide eyes off the monitor.
実際にはすでにミニブラックホールは生成されている。
みたいだな。
その先には何と書いてある。
実験結果エラー。
Human is dead mismatch. For detail concerning Jellyman's report number 14. We propose that further experiments be halted until the lifter is perfected and all local field conformity points are online.
だって人が
Somebody died? Seriously? I groaned. This isn't a joke anymore. Something very serious is going on here. Maybe we are in too deep. He's waking up from his delulu for once, and well, if we are, I'm not afraid. I'm not. After all, I am the insane mad scientist Ho in Kyoma. We can't stop now. I can't control my curiosity. Besides, now that I have proof of their evil deeds, ignoring it would just leave a bad taste in my mouth. My throat's gone dry. I swallow my saliva. In an attempt to keep whatever composure I can, I scold myself for being so faint of heart. Oh yeah, we need to check that one.
ジャックさんのメールには見や
ではそれは後回しだ。タイム
さすがに出てこないんじゃね
After that, Daru spends about 15 minutes fishing through the Accelerated Division Chief's email, but he doesn't find anything about the time machines.
加速器技術委員会とか LHC 計画責任者とかって単語が出てきたからその
ジャックさんの ID では調べられないのか。
Daru shakes his head.
今日のところは
ちなみにさ今見てたのがセルンの一番でかいサーバーなんだけど
妙という
バグってた
バグ
Oh, that is weird.
一もう意味不すぎてむちゃくちゃっつうか、
暗号化されている可能性。
あれは暗号には見えないのだぜ。そもそもプログラムとして成立。
気になるな。
That's why they need the IBN. Daru tries every trick in the book to crack that mystery database. But after about an hour, the pistons he has for fingers begin speeding up. Eventually, he just slams the keyboard out of frustration. Oh great, he snapped. Mayuri puts down her sewing tools and turns to Daru with a worried look on her face. My head is spinning. I can't take it anymore. This is bad. Daru's breaking down. Maybe I'm pushing him too far. He's been up 2 days straight. He's probably at his limit. It has still like Chinese symbols in it. At that moment, music bursts from my pocket. I've got an email. John Titor. Ooh! Are you being honest? If everything you wrote is true, then we have a lot to talk about, particularly concerning the IBN 5100's hidden functionality, which I have not mentioned to anybody yet. I am indeed surprised that you know about it. However, I have not gone to the year 2000, though it is possible I may go there later. There are 3 possible explanations. First, the Titor who appeared in 2000 is my future self. In other words, I go to 2000 later and write about the things you have told me, but that would cause a chicken and an egg paradox, wouldn't it? Second, you're delusional or making things up. For the sake of serious discussion, let's set this possibility aside. Third, you may have seen something I wrote on a different world line. That would mean that 10 years ago you existed on a different world line to the one we are on now. However, that raises another issue. When the world line changes, the entire timeline is reconstructed from past to future in order to prevent a paradox from occurring. That was proven in 2036. In other words, it should be impossible for you to retain memories of a previous world line. Unless you too are a time traveler, that is. Do you have any idea what could that be? I gulp. A flash runs through my head like an electric shock. That's quite a bit of text, but what catches my eye are the first several lines. Everything is falling into place. Mayuri looks at me curiously, but I don't have the time to answer her. I'm frantically assembling the pieces in my mind. These things are all connected, and now I have another piece of the puzzle. I shiver at my own brilliance. I aim my phone's camera at the screen displaying the supposedly bugged data and take a picture. I attach it to the message, does this code look familiar, and send it to Tyler. A mysterious database inside CERN, a program unlike anything Supaha Kadaru has ever seen. Its true form is...
俺のひらめきが正しければジョン・タイターが知っている。
はあ、
なんとでも言うがいい。答えはすぐに出る。
We wait for Tyler's reply. Though it's only been a few minutes, it feels like an eternity to me. It's here. Where did you find that? That's written in the proprietary IBM programming language used to prior to 1975. You can only decipher it with IBM 5100. I quickly opened the email, and its contents are enough to raise goosebumps on my entire body. Just as I suspected.
やはりって
誰よ。判明したぞ。そのプ
IBN5100。
That retro PC has a certain special function. In fact, for more than 25 years after it went on the market in 1975, nobody knew of it save a few IBM engineers. That function was first brought to light by John Titor, who appeared in 2000. And a while after Titor posted about it, an actual IBM engineer admitted to the hidden function's existence. Which reminds me, I talked to Suzuha about this only yesterday. It can also decipher... Ah, true. Is she also having like a delulu that can actually become a reality? A prime example of synchronicity at work. It's almost like an almighty will is pulling the strings.
いいな。断じていいな。
つまりセルンは IBN5100 を使ってこのデータベースを構築したって。
ならば聞くが。
What is the best way to secure a machine against external cracking?
あろうんだろう。
That quickly catches onto an intent of my question.
IBN5100 でしか解読できないなら、それは疑似的なスタンダード。
ゆえにそこに眠るのは
つか、オカリンはな。
俺の頭の中に眠る膨大な
Index librorum from Prohibitorum.
とでも言っておこう。
Daira said it himself 10 years ago, but Daira wouldn't believe me if I told him the truth.
パクリ設定オツ。
I ignore his retort.
マユリ大事。
ここからでも聞こえるよ。
She doesn't get off the sofa, she doesn't care.
これは我ら未来ガジェット研究所。
By the way, we didn't close the window as we said that we would, so the girl downstairs can actually hear it all.
秘密めいた感じというか、企んでいる感じを出したい。
It's important that we stare closely at the monitor and exchange dramatic lines. The atmosphere right now is too light. It's all Mayuri's fault.
マユシーはバルダ組には参加しません。
I mean, she's already kind of participating, even if she doesn't want to. Well, I can't have everything my way.
二人とも聞け。これより未来ガジェット研究所は緊急極秘作戦を発動させる。これは世界を影から操る巨大な闇との戦いの第一歩となるだろう。敵はセル。
オカリン、声でけえ。
You're too loud. Crap, I guess I'm being too loud. That kind of ruins the whole secret feeling. And the window's open too. If Suzuha is down below, I'm sure she can hear everything. So I turn it down a notch.
世界にマッドサイエンティストは二人いらん。
やつらって
Who are they?
奴らは奴らだ。
You know them.
マユシーは全然わかんない。
つまり
You must obtain that Phantom Retro PC.
幻のレトロ PC。IBN
I make a magnificent declaration, but Daru just rubs his eyes and Mayuri returns to her needlework. Damn it, is there anything you guys react to? We've uncovered a massive conspiracy here. How come you aren't excited?
探すのはパス。マジで寝させてよ。
そう。まあ、それができるのは誰だけなんだが。では、IBN5100 の捜索は
無理だよ。
Mayuri makes an apologetic face.
アプリもあるし、バイトもある。
So basically, you two are telling me this. I'm the only one with free time.
いいだろう。この
また何か。
The unemployed privileges. I step out onto the street. Immediately, a bicycle skids to stop in front of me.
はーい、岡部倫太郎。
Suzuha gets off her bicycle and gives me a strange greeting. I want to ask her, are you American or something? But I'm distracted by her shiny bicycle. It's the same bicycle that was in front of the brown tube workshop yesterday. I guess it belongs to her. I wonder how much that set her back. I mean, it does look pretty expensive.
自転車ってほんと楽しいよね。
初めて
You've never ridden a bicycle.
バイクはよく乗ってたんだけどね。
Isn't that backwards? Weird girl. And what's with that flashy braking back there? I think it would be pretty dangerous if she did that all through the town. Beginners get cocky and get into accidents. You see that pattern all the time. If you're going to go full speed, at least wear a helmet. The brown tube's workshop shutters are open, but the shop itself does not open until 11 or 12. I don't know exactly when. It seems to change with Mr. Brown's mood.
お前
これから開店準備しなきゃいけないんだよ。
このオンボロブラウン管屋に何を準備することがある
ないね、まったく。店の前をチョロチョロっと掃き掃除するぐらい。
So he's paying her to not clean? Something's wrong with that guy.
話を
In other words, she doesn't feel like talking. I glare at her. Buddies. But the fallen angel This prophesied his resurrection. Her song is esoteric chokinyan. This song is the cat's meow. I found a copy of the album she put out back in her indie days. I had to pay through the whiskers for it, and faithfully decoded each song of prophecy regarding Judgment Day, Nyaehh. Okay. Okay. My glare is not very effective. She doesn't falter after all. But I still maintain my stare expression and nod. Then go ahead. No until yet. I mean, she did give the impression that she actually knows where it is. What do you mean you can? Come on, I've even said I would show you a living hell. You've been dead for years. Ah, shoot. But then she said yet. Suzuha pats me on the shoulder. It's funny. You think I'm the one who's supposed to cheer her up. Just then, Mr. Brown opens the door and makes his appearance. Suzuha is actually mad now. I'm a warrior. His burning passion has the manager shocked. I, on the other hand, am impressed. On impulse, I take Suzuha's hands and grabs it firmly. Part-time warrior. Suzuha looks confused. Probably fail, but I like your spirit. I wish my comrades were as spirited as you are. What do you mean? Apparently, she has comrades. I'd like her to introduce me. That way I can form my personal army, the Phoenix Crusaders. Wait a second. Why does she assume I'll fail at Ragnarok? Looks like I need to instill the fear of Hoi and Kyoma into this girl.
なんでうちの店の周りにアルバイトいいからさっさと店に。
じゃあね、岡部倫太郎。
Suzuha waves and winks at me as she heads inside the store.
おかりー、待って待って。
Then Mayuri comes down the stairs passing
やば
Suzuha.
い、一緒に探す気になったか？
違うよ。
だ
She really is a glutton. It's not even the lunchtime yet.
で、どこで？
どうしようかな。サンボの牛丼もいいな。
This tiny high school girl truly has guts to enter Sanbo alone. That place isn't like the chain restaurants with their colorful menus and brightly lit interiors. First-timers are often cowed by the old-school atmosphere. Plus, the clientele is almost exclusively male, but Mayuri doesn't care. She just sits there shoulder to shoulder with students and salarymen, smiling as she eats her beef bowl. Meanwhile, the Sunbeats, regular Sanbo customers, are posting comments online like, "The goddess has arrived," or "The goddess for the win."
だが3部はこの時間だとまだ開店
I
してな
try
い
to warn her, but Mayuri is no longer there. She's gone. Mayuri disappears like this very often, and each time she does, I wonder for one terrible second, if she really has vanished from the world. I look around and see Mayuri standing in the distance. She's gazing up at the sky through the buildings. Here we go again. She's stopped in the middle of the street, so other pedestrians look at her, wondering what she's doing. But she doesn't notice that there's stairs. She slowly reaches out to the sky as if entranced, and then she freezes in that position. This is one of her habits. I call it a stardust handshake. Mayuri says that she's liked looking at this night sky ever since she was a little. Her reason is romantic or perhaps childish.
星に届かないかなって思って。
When I asked her about it one day, she just smiled and gave the answer. And at first she only reached out to the night sky, but lately she's been doing it without regard to the time of day. Like now, even when she's walking and talking with someone, something inside her just seems to switch on. Honestly, it's a little crazy. You're the one to talk,
星なんて見え
Akabe.
ないだろ
I walk up to Mayuri and call out to her. She slowly lowers her hand and with a blank smile on her face.
あのね、お昼でもお星様はそこにあるんだよ。
哲学的なことを言うのは結構だが
そうそう。今空を見てて思った。
I decided to have ramen for lunch.
マユシーは今日のお昼。
How are ramen and stars even related? Mayuri's mind works in mysterious ways. I know I said I'd search for the IBN, but I have no idea where to start. I spent about an hour in an internet cafe searching for information, but turned up nothing. I buy some mango juice with tapioca from juice stand inside Yodaboshi. I lose myself in thought as I drink it. It's Saturday, so it's starting to get crowded in front of the station. Some maids are distributing leaflets to the people coming out. I know Dad is well acquainted with Retro PC, but is there anyone else? Oh yeah, Shining Fingers was obsessed with that PC, wasn't she? I'm really reluctant to contact that male demon though, but ultimately my feelings are tribal. Ragnarok hangs in the balance. But I decide not to bother. I finish my drink and wander towards Chuodori. Then comes an email. Don't tell me. It's the male demon. It is? Will you get back to me already? It's like she can read my mind. Wait. I cannot react with anything. What did I press or what did not press? That's my question. I instinctively scan the area searching for the gloomy woman in the crowd. No sign of her tailing me. Well, I guess I'll send her a reply. In the email, I ask her to call and include my phone number. Now I just have to wait for her response. And there it is. Why did she reply by email? You finally contacted me. I don't like talking on the phone, so let's exchange emails instead, please. There's a lot to cover. I'd rather not have to type it all out. I need to find out her phone number. Give me your phone number along with any information you have on the IBN. And send. I look up after finishing my email and see a huge crowd of the people in front of Radican. Oh, weren't that competition, right? Of Rhinoed Access battles on Saturday? I guess the satellite is still a big deal. The media presence hasn't died down since the day of the crash either. Radican is still closed. And of course the satellite is there. Right as I'm about to look down and read the email, I catch the sight of a familiar face in the crowd. I mean, you kinda did. She looks like she'll snap at me, so to dampen her spirit, I go back to checking my email. I don't have anything, how about you? I told her to tell me her phone number and she just ignored me, and she doesn't even have any information. How useless can you be? You glared at me before, I'm allowed to glare at you now. You keep doing perverted stuff. Tell me the super hack address. What do you mean tell me the super hack address? You're making fun of me with that. You're not getting anything from me. Anyway, why does she need to send me 2 short consecutive emails? I mean, she might as well just combine them into one. I can't quite describe it in one word. I feel a little satisfied after sending that email. I turn to Kurisu again. I just can't read the mem name seriously. Well, she is only a temporary member. No, it's because she's a temporary member that we need to get as much out of her as we can. Rishi sighs and looks up at the satellite. We're not alone. Several other people are standing here and looking up. It's Akiba's latest tourist attraction. And that's to say nothing about the huge hole it punched in the building. Are satellites that durable? 3 days have passed and it's still unknown. How interesting. I smell a conspiracy. That's obviously a crackpot conspiracy theory. Thank you very much. Tricia hangs her head and blushes for some reason. Crazy girl. I thought you didn't want to get involved, and it's not the phone wave, it's the phone wave name subject to change. Another email. Damn you, Shining Finger. I said not to send so many short emails. Was I being annoying? I'm sorry, but I really need information on the PC, and you're the only lead I have right now. I'm relying on you, Akaba-kun. I swear I won't send any more short emails, so please don't abandon me. I need you to help me look for the PC. I promise to let you know as soon as I learn something, so let's work together. Looks like she's rethinking things. Hopefully I don't have to worry about any more mail assaults. I have thought a full male demon to behave like a civilized human being. Let's send a reply. Apology accepted. I'm looking for an IBN too. I agree that we should exchange information. I'll let you know when I have something. You don't need to reply to this email. I typed it and sent it.
メール交換は済んだ？
So you remember my true name? Indeed, I am Hoin Kyoma.
皮肉で言ったのよ。
どこが皮肉なんだ？お前は俺。
岡部さんって頭おかしいでしょ。
Have you seen such professional help?
あんたと話すの。
それで電話レンジカッコ仮の話だったな。お前はあの実験の後タイムマシンなど嘘。
おいこら、勝手に私にトラウマせ。
そう。あれはまだ5歳の頃。
He was on the plains of Arkansas when lightning.
誰とらんわ。5歳の頃は
I was still living in Japan when I was 5. Why Arkansas?
思い浮かべた時。
そこはユタじゃない？相対的に見てユタの方がぽくない？
では答えよクリスティーナ。
Why did you freak out back then?
別に確信があって言ったわけじゃない。単に信じたくなかっただけ。
とんでも科学だと。お前もはっきり見たはずだ。メールが過去へと飛んだ。
見たけど何かの間違いのはず。 ATF で言わなかった？タイムマシンはましてやあんたたちみたいなお遊びサークルが電話と電子レンジ。
だが実際に起きた。お前は
言葉遊びってどういうこと？
量子論など俺からしてみれば言葉。
ちょっとあんたね、
現象に対して素直になれ。起きたことが全てであり、起きていないこと、観測できていないことは全て仮説でしかない。
仮説を積み上げて理論が証明されたとき、それは
I mean, I can understand why she's just trying to deny what she saw.
だが仮説が間違っている場合もある。かのアインシュタインでさえ間違えたことがあるのだ。
間違いかもしれないからやらないの？だったらあんたは一生あの小汚いビルに引きこもって王様を。そんなことじゃ真実には
なるほど。
あくまで上から目線なのな。
ところでクリスティーナよ、俺は常々感じていた。
矛盾？
現実に起きている。
There have been a minute. Everyone knows a cure in reality, but which physicists refuse to research. What do you think about that?
例を挙げてもらわないとわからない。
例えば言う。
オカルトかよ。
オカルトだからといって思考停止か？そんなことじゃ。真実に
Oh, you got her there.
幽霊を見る人間は確かにもかかわらず
先行が違うわ。
解明されていない現象に先行。
そうだけど。
というわけで過去へメールを送る現象。
嫌よ。私はとんでも科学には手は出さない。
父？
Her father.
考えは口だけはタイムトラベル理論を研究してるなんて言った日には
なぜそう言い切れる？
私の父がそうだった。物理学者の父は
My father visited loved time machines. He was so fascinated by Will's time machine that he seriously studied time travel. But because of his obsession, he was practically exiled from the scientific community. I will never get involved with the time travel research. This time her sheer force of will gives me a pause. I think she's really pissed. I may have stepped on a landmine here. What do I do? If I get her any angrier, she might seriously hit me. Let's calm her down a little. Yeah, let's do that. But what should I say? He apologizes first. Her calm character saves me.
気にすることはない。今
とにかく電話レンジはメールの送受信は人の
助手の考えは分かった。そこまでタイムマシンを無理にラボ面に誘って迷惑をかけたな。
You don't have to come again.
だが
Oh, but then again, she actually saw like something that looked like time travel. But her seeing her father being excluded from the scientific community makes her so scared that she doesn't want to dig in. That's sad. That's really sad. That number is yours forever. My shoulder is suddenly pulled from behind. I brace myself so I don't fall backwards.
何をする俺によるささやかな演出後腐れのないわ
だから助手じゃないと言ったろうが。それにこっちにはまだ話があんのよ。
Damn it, her stubbornness has already returned.
この前は聞けなかったけど、私が刺されたってあんた言ってたわよ。
Ah, yes, the other real-life phenomenon that has yet to be explained.
あれは俺が見た幻だ
Let's just leave it at that for now.
なんであんたの夢に私が
Why would you dream about me?
夢ではなく幻だ
ドクター中鉢がどうとか言ってた。
あの日ラジカンで
発表会は中止になった。
そういうことになっているようだな。だが俺が見た幻
私はナンパなんてしない。
だから幻だったと言っているだろう。だとしたら
That would explain the riddle of the phone wave. If this world was some kind of simulation, then we can disregard the laws of physics.
意外と
仮説を提示したのだよ。
それで私は誰に
I recall the sight of Kurisa's collapse in a puddle of blood. It sends shivers down my spine. Was that really just a hallucination? It was too real. I can clearly remember the smell of
俺が
blood.
駆けつけた時には
わからないの。
全くない。その時点では俺とお前は一
Well, that one time we talked was during the events I imagined. Strictly speaking, at that point in time, all I knew about her was what I read in the magazine.
接点などほとんどなかった。
白状者。
何を望んでいる？過去に戻ってお前の死体を丁重にやって
もういいわ。今後そんな幻見ないで。
保証はできないな。それを実行。
本当にあんたってああ言えばこう言うわね。
Kurisa shakes her head in exasperation, then turns and walks off towards the station. Looks like she wants to end the conversation. In revenge for last time, I grab her slender shoulder from behind.
俺の話は終わっていない。
喧嘩売ってるだろ。
別れのシーンを台無しにしたお返しだクリスティーナ。己の警察の
はいはいわかりました。
IBN5100 の
剣だとか言われても。
いや知らないのなら
We will not meet again.
もう二度と
I turn my back to Kurisa. This time, I'll make it perfect.
言いかけたままやめないで。気持ち悪いで
She
しょ。
grabs my arm. Damn it, this is the second time.
IBN5000。
IBN5100
何に使うつもり？
It was the same way when she came to the lab. I guess this girl is just brimming with curiosity. Kurisa quickly averts her eyes, but she doesn't let go of my arm.
気になるのだな。
少し
I mean, if she figures out that CERN was actually looking into time travel and they succeeded and they treated seriously, while her father was completely dismissed, that'll be really, really, really hard for her.
セルン。
いかにも。そして我がラボが総力を挙げて調べたところによれば
I'll be
聞い
astonished.
て損した。
Risa gives me a cold glare, then lets go and starts walking away. This time she's gone for good. Damn you. Just you watch. I will expose her in secrets if it's the last thing I do. The next day, I did as much as I could yesterday after partying with Kurisu, but no luck. I'm standing in the narrow tunnel that runs beside the Radican building. Small shops selling everything from motherboards to resistors to vacuum tubes line both sides of the tunnel. Here like the vestige of the old electric town. I keep as conscious, so to speak. Casual otaku usually avoids stores like this. It's like a holy land that only true fanatics can enter. Not that I'm an expert on computer parts. Furthermore, these shops only sell parts, so it's actually kind of silly to be searching for a whole PC here. Still, something about the sight of all these electronics gets my blood pumping. I have to hide my excitement to maintain my dignity. If a storekeeper yells, "Hey kid, you're 10 years too young for this stuff," then I'll have no choice but to run. Fortunately, no one has yelled at me yet. In fact, the storekeepers seem to be ignoring me. They must be more open-minded than I thought. Or maybe they just don't care. I searched each store in turn, but turned up neither height nor hair of an IBN 5100. The ringing of my phone draws a sharp look from the nearest storekeeper.
もしもし、俺だ。
てってるー、まゆしーです。
まゆし
直
です。
通回線でかけるなと言ったはずだ。盗聴されている可能性があるのだぞ。うかつな真似はするなと言っている。それで、そちらの。
おかりおかり。あのね。
要するに何の用だと言っている。
わかりにくい。ねえねえ。
作戦行動中だ。
たくさん子供。
作戦行動中。
そっか、そうなんだ。
If she heard something amazing just now. Aw.
有益な情報なら聞こう。
じゃあ、メイクイン。
Come to May Queen, I'll be waiting. Yeah, I think we forgot about that part when we actually should take the part in the games, right? There's a handwritten sign outside May Queen that says, "Today is the Far East, Captain." Well, I'm trying to figure out what that means. I'm gonna take a drink. Oh. My tonic is room temperature right now, which is pretty disgusting. Mayuri trots up to me in a full maid regalia. She has a convenience store bag in hand. Then Mayuri takes out her pocket watch pockety. She checks the time. She takes some fried chicken out of a convenience store bag as she speaks. The aroma of the chicken stirs my appetite. She skewers up a piece of chicken on a toothpick and holds it out for me. You can't do that in front of the store. You're supposed to be a maid.
お前はここでは椎名真由里ではなく、なのに店先で俺に、はい、などということをするのは、この店。
I usually didn't think of that.
それで？
そうさ、
まさか手がかりを掴んだのか？
違うよ。あるわけないよ。
Mayuri has a triumphant look on her face, but I don't see where this is going at all.
まゆしはさっき、最初はマッキーちゃんに聞いたんだけど、それにね、リサリサちゃんは
まゆり、さっさと要点を話せ。
I think Ferris-chan knows.
何？
ね、
フェイリスが。
Actually, it was love at first sight, a little joke. Actually, I think that human beings need relationships, you know? It's a matter of life and death. What's she on about? That girl's seriously hardcore. Prefer to stay away from her if possible. But I'm really desperate for information. I take out my phone and put it into my ear. It's Paris Nyan Nyan. It turns out that Catgirl's an expert on retro PC. There's probably another side to this. Let's keep our eyes peeled. Didn't forget about me and commence the strike on May Queen. I put away my phone, grab another piece of chicken, and look at May Queen's window. Bruh's doomed. Mayuri is stuffing the remaining chicken in her mouth as fast as she can. There are tears in her eyes. Come on, it was just two. Immediately. Let's leave Mayuri to her chicken and begin the approach. Welcome, Yastra. When I enter the cafe, it's fully occupied unlike usual. Nyaehh, is Hyoma gonna join too? Today is the Fairies Cup, Nya. Doesn't look like she plans to explain what that is. I take my phone out again. Run the search on Fairies Cup. Battle to death where the winner gets to use Fairies however he pleases. What the hell? Looks like I've stepped into one hell of a mess. No, there's no problem, I'll survive. I put away my phone and turn to Fairies. No, Nya. It's a cat eat cat battle royale where the winner gets to make Fairies his slave, Nya. Oh no, you can't. You can't claw at each other's throats over Fairies, Nya. Please stop. Fairy starts crying and wringing her body seductively. That's some pretty good acting, but of course no one here is killing anyone. Kyoma, please, Nya, stop them. Don't worry, there's nobody for me to stop. Nevertheless, the atmosphere here is different. I sense a bloodlust in the air. No, seriously, what's the Fairies Cup? I wonder if my friend is here. Like, he has a huge crush on Fairies, right? But I think he might be dead from like all the hacking. So he unironically might miss that. A pout-to-pout contest with Fairies, Nya. Fairies goes at it with everyone at the same time, Nya. And the reward goes to those Fairies who find worthy, Nya. But Fairies grins. Her face, a fang-like tooth peeks out from her glistening red lips. If you don't do something, Fairies is gonna become everyone's plaything, Nya. Fairies approaches me. Her slender fingers touch my arm. Her caress gives me goosebumps. Save Fairies for Kyoma. I can't take my eyes off her. I've been entranced. That girl has the power to bend men to her will. I must resist. Nyonya. She's so betrayed. I shake her paws off. Phew, that was close. She has one hell of an evil eye. I barely escaped enticement, and only because I am the insane mad scientist Hole in Kyoma. If you're not going to play, then I'm sorry, but I'll have to ask you to leave, Nya. Fairies is the organizer of the Fairies Cup today. Only participants are allowed inside the shop. Her real ears, not the cat ears. She laughs mischievously. If you want to talk to Fairies, you have no choice but to join the Fairies Cup, Nya. I mean, I have to. I thrust my finger at the tip of Fairies' nose. I'll face you. You'll tell me everything you know. Now I remember, the other day Fairy said that she was doing a Rhine at Axe's Battles tournament. That the Fairies Cup, if you win, you get to eat Fairy's home cooking or something like that. Looks like Fairies tricked me. Save me, she said. Nya, she said. What is this argument? Save me, she said. Nya, she said. Oh, yes, of course he's here. They want my blood. Come to think of it, the Fairies Cup was organized by Fairies, so it makes sense that only Fairies fans would participate. In other words, I'm the away team. I am surrounded by enemies, but this is something I must do. This is just one more step on my road to the IBN. Obtain information using any means necessary. With that mission in mind, I sit next to Dara and softly whisper to him. Noob.
この件に関しては敵。
In this tournament, we're enemies.
送り込まれてねえし。僕は毎日フェイリスさんのブログをチェックしてるほどの。
Suddenly the cap lights dim. A song starts playing. A somewhat solemn melody with sexy and powerful female vocals. I've heard this song a lot recently. Pretty sure it's the theme song of Raiknet Kakeru.
みんなさーお待たせしたにゃん。ただいまよりフェイリス杯お昼
Fari's appears in the spotlight. The previously peaceful audience instantly explodes in excitement. Everyone stands up and shouts in unison with their fists raised skyward. Fari's responds to the shouts of joy with a wave of her hand, then clears her throat.
ルールは簡単。フェイリスがみんなと、フェイリスは頑張って。
You can go pow to pow with 10 people at once.
ちなみにフェイリスに
If you beat Faris, you'll get her home cooking as a reward.
そんじゃみんな楽しんで勝負しようね。
Lots are drawn to determine the order that we face Faris. Seems like there are 28 participants, including me. I'm in the third round. Oh, Daru lost. Insta-killed by Faris? No, maybe Faris is just too strong. There's a special board where you complete using pieces arranged in rows. The rules are fairly complicated, but basically the point of the game is to get your pieces into the enemy camp. Whoever gets the most pieces in the enemy camp wins. Faris is playing against 10 people at once. She moves from table to table in a circle, taking one move at each before proceeding to the next. In Go, Shogi, or chess, this is called a simultaneous exhibition. High-level players hold them to demonstrate their skill. And Faris does indeed seem to be highly skilled, just as Daru said.
みんなもうちょっと頑張ってほしいにゃ。
I lean back against the wall and silently watch the round 2 matches.
フェイリスちゃん。
Mayuri returns from her break with a drink in hand and whispers to me.
マユシーはライネットの腕前。
強くなったらどうなるの？
オカリ、
It's a global blend.
ライネッ
トレンド。
You mean trend?
英雄か。
それにね。
Upa is so cute.
とっても可愛い。
待て。
He's more popular than Electricity Yellow Rod. There we have it, we got Pikachu.
ウーパが可愛いことは関係ないだろう。
She must be after those limited Upa plushes they gave out to participate in official tournaments. You'll never become the strongest with such impure intentions, Mayuri.
ちゃんはとっても忙しいから公式大会に出る暇もない。
In that case, this faceless rabble participating in the Fairies Cup are unworthy opponents. Just as expected, round 2 ends the same as round 1. Nobody's even close to Fairies level.
みんなごめんにゃ。
Never pulls punches in the Rainet.
フェイリスが求めているのは真剣勝負。
フェイリスさん、マジパネス。
It's gonna be our turn now.
ざまあ。
You're all pathetic.
貴様。だが。真だる。お前に教え
How the true men fights. Ah, you've got a plan, no.
そういうことだ。
Operation Sweet
作戦
Side.
名は G バックとだけ言っておこう。
Oh, I'm getting like I got the freaking shivers of cringe down my spine before when we were watching the hobby horse thing, and it's happening again. It's happening again right now. I can feel their pain and it gives me strength. At first we were enemies, but now our hearts are joined against the indomitable might of Faris.
今日までに自信があるのかにゃ。
これまでに知っていた20人の
The tears of the fallen 20 shall not be in vain.
すげえ。オカリンのやつ、初めからフェイリスに勝っ
オカリー、頑張れ。
I'm gonna ruin their all hopes, right?
それまでに勝負は決す。
それじゃ3巡目始めるにゃ。ライネットアクセスバトラーズデュエルアクス。
参りました。
I give up. I'm just even take 5 minutes.
オカリン弱すぎる。
Never played Rhino the Axis battles before. There's no way I can win. I don't even know the rules. Oh. And thus the tournament ends in total victory of Paris.
結局全部ハったりだったん？
What happened to Operation Sweet
今
Side?
日はまるで自爆するみたいに突っ込んでき
It's
た
like he committed a
それって
suicide.
まさ
Ah.
か。
ふぅそのまさかだ。作戦名 G バックとはすなわち。
どう見ても
Oh
ダジャ
my
レで
dear
す。
lord.
本当にありがとうございました。
でもなんで今日は負けたのにそんなに偉そうなのにゃ？
Are you so proud of him though? I made a kid leader out of you, Nyaehh.
まだ気づかない。
どういうことかにゃ？
俺がお前に提示した条
Do you remember the conditions I said?
にゃ
違うな。間違った。
What I said
勝
was,
負した暁
if I face you, you'll tell me everything you know. If I face you, now. Ah.
この作戦は
No one else could have pulled it off. Those fools were lured here by the prospect of Fari's home cooking. Ah, that's just actually impressive.
フェイリスの手料理などには全く興味はなく。
You're the only one to applaud.
来たね。
頭脳的作戦といえ。これぞオペレーション G バックだ。さあフェイリス。
にゃ？
しらばっくれても無駄だ。俺は確かな筋からお前がアイビー。
にゃそんな小難しい名前言われてもさっぱり。
どういうことだ。お前はレトロ PC に詳しいのだろ。
うわ、情報源明かしてるし。
You leaked your source not the first time, not the last time, Daru. Mayushi's a reliable source. Oh no.
詳しくはないが。
This is actually horrible for everyone.
たくさんしまってあるけど。
つまりそこに IBN5100 が眠っているのだな。では今
それは無理にゃん。
なぜだ。
あそこはフェイリス家にとっての
That's the Paris clan's sanctuary.
入ることができるのは猫耳を持つフェイリス
The only ones who may enter the Paris clan's cat daughters. Those who pursue the knowledge of the Meow Miko.
つまりフェイ
In
リ
the
ス
house of everybody but Faris, Nya. Try to force your way in and you'll grow dog ears,
そ
Nya.
んなわけなかろうが。何が犬耳だ。
本当なのにゃフェイリス嘘は言ってないのにゃ
Instantly, the air is charged with malice. I find myself surrounded by 27 Faris fans, each glaring at me with bloodshot eyes.
今日だぞフェイリス。
フェイリスは本当のことしか言ってないにゃ
The defeated are now under Faris' complete control. They approach at a shuffle, muttering full prayers to their cat goddess. You made Faris cry. I'll never forgive you. Faris is my wife. Cat ears are justice. I want to lick Faris' feet. No. I want her to step on me hard. No. Crap, these guys are serious. I need the information Faris possesses, but I am too great at this venture to press the attack. And then there's my personal weakness to Faris' powers. At this rate, I might be assimilated into the Faris cult. What do I do? I cry out and seize my... No, it's too soon. My right hand trembles. Oh my... I show agony on my face as I try desperately to control the trembling. Right, because he was acting possessed before, right?
なぜか RS ライネットアンチシステムがにゃからあれほどライネットはやっちゃダメだと
Where did that came from? I ignored Paris and staggered towards the exit. Her worshippers let me pass. It feels as if everyone is giving me cold stares, but I don't have the time to check and make sure. I throw myself out of the door into the open air.
くそ。
Empty-handed. The throbbing in my right arm settles as soon as I leave the cafe. I guess I'll ask Daru or Mayuri about Faris some other day. It feels like an exhaustion has caught up over me. And to make matter worse, it's boiling hot today. The sun is getting stronger as we enter August. Fed up with the heat, I wipe the sweat off my brow. Mayuri chases after me. She's smiling and waving at me, but her speed is clearly faster than mine.
どうした。
ちょっぴり抜けてきたの。それよりね、さっきの IBN
いい働きだマユリ。どこぞのの。
フェリスちゃんが言うにはね。
It was probably around the time she was in elementary school. On a cold autumn day, while Faris was shivering from the cold, her butler Karoki came to help.
前置きが長い。頼むから。
So basically, she ended up donating one of her dad's computers to a shrine. She says it looked just like the one you're looking for.
だと
As an unexpected combination, PC and shrines, consumer electronics, and ancient rituals.
どこの神社だ
さあどこ
まあいい
The only shrines in Akiba are Kandamyo and Yanabayashi Shrine. I don't know if Faris was living in Akiba at that time, but at least it's a start.
参りは引き続
情報
Es mi hostash.
きじゃあな
おかりんバイバイ
Kandamyoin is the larger and more popular shrine, so 9 out of 10 people would choose to donate think something there. But when I inquire at the shrine office, nobody knows anything about an old computer. That leaves Yanabayashi Shrine. It's probably not here either, but I have to try.
誰だ
Oh, that's Shining Fingers.
聞く
は
Because she didn't want to speak over the phone, so that is like the only one that would make sense, right?
機関の人間で
違うわよ
Yeah.
マッキー
No, it's Makisa.
悪いが思い出せない
秋葉原よつい昨日もあったろうが
Oh,
おお
my assistant.
助手じゃないマキセ
クリスティーナと言ってくれないとわからない
クリスティーナでもねえよなん
お前は相変わらず
誰のせいだ
ちょっと待ってお前なぜ俺
Something is not right here. It's not like Kuris is free of suspicions. She could still be a spy.
教えてもら
Has she doesn't told me?
つまらん
助手じゃないって
柳林神社に向かっている
あそう
あえ
What was that? Is she messing with me? She's messing with me. The voices.
嫌がらせだ
How dare my assistant treat me like this? I shall scold her most harshly the next time we meet.
サイエンス誌に論文が載ったからなんだという
いきなり何よ
さっきの電話は何
What was that phone call
あん
about?
たの居場所を聞いただけそれ
誰も呼んでいないのだが
私も呼ばれた覚えはね
She must be bored as heck. Why is she always in such a bad
な
mood?
ぜ俺に会いに来た
You're evil? The love at first sight was a joke, okay? Are you by any chance a womanizer? What the hell?
会いたくて会いに来たん
Not
じゃ
because
ない
I wanted to or anything, don't get me wrong. She just keeps the abusive words coming.
昨日別れ際に言われたことが
何のことだ
IBN5100
貴様機関ではなく
So you're working for some of the organization.
ど
Huh.
んな顔よ失礼だなあんた少しは落ち着いたら
落ち着くか
Never know where assassin will strike.
俺に喧嘩を売りに来たのか
IBN5100 とセルンって組み合わせに興味が湧いただけよ
そうではなくお前が興味を持ったのはセルンでタイムマシン研究が行う
うるさいなそれより IBN
それを確かめに来た
That's why I'm here. Kirisa looks up at Yanabayashi Shrine's small archway.
神社に
そうだ
おか京馬さん
ルカ子よ
Are you talking about demons from Samidara?
対しろと言っておいたはずだ
すみません
掃き掃除の最中に乗っ取られたらどうするつもりだ
そうです
Now be more careful, poor guy.
さっきから二人で何の話をしてるの
Lukaku finally notices Kirisa and gives me a puzzled look.
助手だ
違うわよ
俺は事実を述べたまで
日本の方じゃ日本の方です
それよりルカ子お前の
待て
紹介されたいのかちゃんと
この状況で紹介されない方が不自
It's
然だよ
unnatural not to be introduced in this
俺は
situation.
ルカ子に紹介するためにここに来たのではない
紹介するぐらい10秒もかからないのに
fight. Looks like he thinks we're fighting.
こいつは
Oh, this is Maki Sekuriso, my assistant.
もういい
Assistant, whatever.
よろしくお願いしますマキセよろしくおい今年で17です私の1個下かえそうなんですか
I can't believe we're only a year apart.
老け顔
It means you look old. She glares at me.
違いますあ
You're very beautiful.
の
Ah,
可愛らしいと思う
but he's a guy. I probably shouldn't tell her that. The shock from learning the truth might be enough to make her go back to
フ
America.
ラン社交辞令は終わったか
いちいち言い方
You're such a jerk. Yeah, he is. He is a jerk. That's why I was picking the jerky options when we had the choice.
はい
これは人類の未来にかか
It's a grave matter that concerns the future of
人
mankind.
類の未来すぐ呼んできます
Lukaka races into the shrine office. He believes just about everything I say. He's really easy to deal with, unlike my rebellious assistant.
やだ風邪ひいたかな
Kurisu's sniffling should keep her too occupied to scold me for a while. Lukaka's father soon appears. Lukaka's pretty flustered. He's practically dragging his father behind him.
お父さん早く
ちょっと待ってくれそんなに生活
人類の
Mankind is at stake. Oh my dear
これ
lord.
は大変だな
I've met Lukaka's father several times before. He's a gentle, respectable adult, with an exception of how he raised Lukaka. Apparently, the reason Lukaka wears Miko garb is because his father requested it. Maybe his dad's a pervert. No, it's not like I mean to mock the Shinto priesthood or anything like that.
いやあおーい
Oh, Inkun.
久しぶり
Ah,
こちらこそ
he's using the fake name.
彼の名前は法王院じゃなくて岡部ですよ
えそうなので
ジョッシュ話がややこ
事実を言っただけじゃない
ルカから法王院君だと聞かされてい
Luka
たから
told me his name was Hoi, and maybe Luka was just playing a trick on me.
もしかしてこれは
お父さんそうじゃ
俺はほーい
岡部倫太郎って親がつけてくれたの
いいから黙れザゾンビ
誰がゾンビだ
仲が良くていいですね
Luka's dad looked at Kurisu.
ルカの
Are you one of Luka's friends too? Please get along with Luka from now on too.
この子は見ての通りとても軽い
お父さんやめて
I wonder how Luka is. What is he wearing when he's not in the Miku attire?
それで法王院君私に何か用事だとか
That's right. There's no time for idle chatter. This meeting will shape the course of Ragnarok. The future of mankind is, well, whatever. I am a mad scientist, not some sort of hero. I explained to Lukaku's father how I need the IBN. And then I asked him if that retro PC was donated to Yanabayashi Shrine. Of course I don't disclose any classified information, like how we plan to hack CERN and how this is all related to time machine research.
という言い方がふさわしいかこの神社には
But an old computer was entrusted to this shrine about 9 years ago. Huh.
ちょっと待っていてください今持ってきましょう
Lukaku's father comes back in about 10 minutes. His face is bright red and he's carrying a large cardboard box. His gait is fairly unsteady. I wonder if he'll be okay.
探すのに手こずってしまいましたおそらくこれだと思い
I think thank him and take a look inside. It is
これが
the PC.
IBN5100
I compare it to the IBN image I got from Shining Finger. They look very similar.
ここを見てください
It is actually the PC we need. And all we needed to solve Akiba riddle of the Phantom PC was the cat girl.
ついに秋葉の都市伝説を解明せる漆原氏この PC を貸してもらう
いいですよ
Where? I didn't even ask questions. We could get like hundreds of thousands of dollars for it. I've never heard of anything like that. That's why I was expecting him to refuse. If a young man ever appears and says that he needs this computer no matter what, please lend it to him with my blessings. I didn't think it would actually happen, to be honest. I'd forgotten about it entirely until you reminded me. What? I'm happy to lend it to you, Holy Queen, but please be sure to return it when you're done. Was it like us from the future who traveled to the past? I can't stop laughing. Things are going better than I anticipated. It's almost like everything's being handed to me on a silver platter. We can expose their wicked research and possibly even gather hints on the creation of time machine. And then I can complete the first time machine in human history. Now I have to get the IBN back to the lab, but unfortunately I don't have a car to transport it. In fact, I don't even have a license. Oh, he's like me. Same goes for my assistant. You're wasting your youth. No fighting, please. Lucas dad has already returned to the shrine office. Lukaku and I freeze at my assistant's nonchalant words. Father is married and adultery is bad. I don't think you've heard this thread is actually needed because my back is killing me right now. I won't give up my father. I'm sorry for the word misunderstanding, that was so rude of me. Christina turns away. I decide to leave it at that. Angering her any further could lead to violence. Don't forget your practice. What kind of a whole life teases a girl? I wouldn't know. Lukaku's a guy. I ignore Christina lift up the box with the IBN inside. It's heavy. I can barely get it off the ground. I put it down for now. Now I know why Lucas' dad was red in the face when he brought this thing in. Is it that heavy? It's only as big as a CRT monitor. She grabs both of the air and lifts it. She strains with all her might but gives up without lifting it even a centimeter. It's really heavy. She blushes slightly. My assistant seems to have a strong competitive spirit. This thing's gonna weigh like 30 kilos, but it doesn't look like something that could weigh 30 kilos. Urishibara-san, is there anyone in the shrine? I'm sorry, It is a different story for two. You and I just need to carry it together. Why else do you think I made you my assistant? Oh, Lord. What if one of them slips? Then it's IBN PC gone. I said no. Shut up, I said no. The whole reason you made me a labman was to pour on my knowledge. Even that is a married guy. So there is like a mother or a stepmother that allows all this. But at the same time, Lukaku is like he seems to be completely fine with whatever is going on. So if he's happy.
自分
はいはい。
The burden is considerably easier when distributed between two
なんで
people.
私たちお見合い状態なわけ？
We're positioned so that we're looking at each other, but there's no other way to hold it, so what can you do?
いいから行くぞ。
待った待った待て。
なんだうる
あんたね、前に進
Then I have to walk backwards, let's walk
さい。い
sideways.
いからキビキビ動け、助手。
Yeah, that doesn't make sense because it's so easy to trip when you're walking backwards.
助手ならばできるはずだ。
期待してくれてどうも。でも無理。横歩きに変更求む。通過しろ。変更しろ。
It's dark by the time we get to the lab. It's normally less than a 15-minute walk, but since Kurisu kept begging to take breaks, it ended up taking twice as long.
お前がああだこうだと文句を言わなければ。
その言葉、そっくり返してやる。
あれは。
どこか悪いの？
ああ。たまに。
Dark destructive impulses overcome myself.
一切黙れ。あんたの右腕の末梢神経も含めて。
Holy crap, there's something wrong with this girl. Rip out my nerves? That's like something from last year's new gen incidents. Okay, I'll shut up. Let's bring the IBN into the lab. The final barrier awaits. We have to ascend to this rickety building's narrow staircase.
そうだな。
I check the window. The lab's lights are on.
あれ？
Part-time warrior comes out of the brown tube's workshop with the perfect timing.
だろうじゃん。
聞きたいのか。
待った。立ち話するなら一言。
いや、別に立ち話。
ほんで、何なのそれ？
IBN5100。
すごい。
Way to go, Caberintaro. I wish she'd stop calling me by my full name. If she's going to do that, she should at least call me Hoyun Kyoma.
どこ？どこに？重いんだけど。
板下ろせ。
Pretty soon I place it on the ground gently as to not damage the contents.
ね、どこ？
柳林神社。
柳林神。
You mean like a Shinto shrine?
なんだってそんなところに。あ、
She gasps and approaches Kurisu until they're close enough to feel each other's breath.
マキセクリス？そうだけど。
For some reason, she stares at Kurisu with frightful intensity. Kurisu narrows her eyes in a position. What's going on here? I can't move a muscle. The air is so thick with tension.
なんなの？私、あなたに。
Suzuha turns away and without looking back disappears into the brown tube workshop.
今の誰？
Now Kurisu demands answers from
1
me.
階のブラウン管工房のバイ
なんで私、
ト。知らん。お前が。
彼女とは今初めて会ったのに。
Kurisu picked a fight with me the first time we met too, but that was a hallucination, so I don't say anything. I get Daru and Mayuri to come down and help us, and the four of us carry the IBN upstairs.
ご苦労。これで俺たちは戦える。
戦うって誰と？
セール。そして。
Turn into... I mean, I wonder how she will react when they show her what they did.
幸せ。俺が手に入れたい。混沌。
ごめん、言い直す。
Never mind happiness, you're like Jijinki hyper secreting beta endorphins. No.
オカリー、オカリー。
I don't want you to do bad things, remember?
けどすげえよ。マジで見つけてくるなんて。
憧れないけどね。
I certainly don't admire him.
Eh?
Eh? Eh? For a moment, there's a complete silence.
見つけられたのはね、マユシーのお手。
Mayuri, oblivious as always, puffs out her chest with pride, but I don't miss Kurisu's relieved sigh. She keeps dropping manga quotes. Does that mean what I think it means?
マユシー情報がなかったら。
あ、マユリの言う
You did well this time. That's true. We got that PC just because of Mayushi.
途中まで一緒に帰ろう。ありがとう。でももうしばらくここにいるわ。
Looks like Chris is interested in the IBN and CERN after all. That reminds me, I haven't filled her in yet.
そっか。じゃあまた明日ね。トゥットゥル
Mayuri waves her hands as she
それ
leaves.
で誰 IBN5100 の
そうだな。
Daru talks as he plugs in the IBN power adapter into the wall. He turns the machine on and the power supply begins to make a turbulent noise.
すげえ。
It's actually turned on.
こいつの使い方
First I need to learn how to use this thing. It might take a while. I can't play with this thing and search for the server admin's ID at the same time.
構わんできれば
If possible, I'd like to get the IBN ready to use this month though.
してもらい
今月ってまだ30日丸々残ってんじゃん。
Yeah, I mean, we have time before Mauricio goes back to America, right? Because then we cannot use her
それでとは
shining finger. Have you found any leads yet? Nothing at all on my end. I've been to a lot of stores, but none of them had it on the display. Maybe I should have tried asking. Anyway, let me know if you have found anything.
あ
Chris is glaring at me.
岡部。
岡部だと
I take one step towards Kurisu, and she takes a step back.
オーカリン、タンマタン
Oh,
マ。
mouse time out. Daru tries to hold me back, but I shake him off and take a step closer. Kurisu doesn't step back this time. Without taking her eyes off me, she bites her lip hard and curls her hands into fists.
言ったわよ。確かに私はあんたより年下だけど、人のことクリスティーナだとかゾンビだとか呼ぶ相手。
違う。
I
俺は岡部ではない。
am holding Kyoma.
なんだよ。
自分のこと棚に。
いい子。俺のことはほーい。あるい
That or Kyoma.
お断りします。
Kurisu snaps at me and turns away. Are those tears I see in her eyes? Are you
もしかして
crying?
泣いたの
泣いてないわよ、バカ。男の人に怖い顔で迫られて恐怖を感じちゃったりなんかしてないし、その後のあんたのバカゼリフにほっと
She
して
starts
涙が出てきたわけ
stalks
でもな
over
い
the
から。
window and stares outside. I see her wipe her eyes with the back of her hand. Seems she was crying after all.
誰よ
今本人が全部説明したわけだ。
She said so herself just
俺
now.
は名前の間違いを正しただけだ
強気に見えて意外と疑い
Maybe she only has strength, but is actually weak on the inside. It's pretty oh my dear lord. Back to checking email. But I'm thirsty from this hot day's work. So before that, I take a fresh Dr. P out of the fridge.
ねえ、
Are you going to tell me what's going on? I toss the bottle to Kurisu once she turns around. Kurisu tries to catch it but fails magnificently. She picks the bottle off the floor, then shoots me at a glare.
それでも飲んで少し待っていて
お気遣いありが
I
とう。
need to send a reply to Shining Finger. She ended up being no help at all, but I suppose I can't just say nothing. Reply. I got the goods over. He's gonna
さて
explode my mailbox. Gimme? What nonsense is this? Sorry, but I'm not the owner. I can't just give it to you. I sent that. Another instant reply. Let me borrow it. It's easy to imagine what will happen if I lend it to her. She'll disappear and I'll never see the IBN again. No borrowing either. You can visit our lab if you want to see it, but no touching. And he gave the address. Ah, he's so dumb. I have the lab's address and send the email. No more replies come.
待たせたな
Sorry for the wait. I look up and see Kurisu drinking the Dr. P.
助手はドクタ
本場で7年過ご
I
し
lived 7 years at its birthplace after
ー
all.
私は未成
Great
年よ。
drinking buddies.
そうではないドクターペッパーを飲みか
それ限定なのか。
Is that all you drink? Kurisu shrugs her shoulders and takes another swing, signaling me to talk. And so I explained how Daru and I hacked into CERN. I mean, that was just Daru. I had no saying in that. I haven't done anything. I should not get any credit for that. That's a very important part. And how they've actually had the LGC in operation for 9 years, and how they successfully created mini black holes, and how it looks like they're researching time travel, and also how they haven't disclosed any of that to the world. Kurisu's expression grows more and more intense as she listens to the story. CERN certainly is acting strange, but how the IBM is involved?
セルンのデータベースに
だから
そのデータベースの
The only way to decrypt that database is to use IBM on our
なんで
own.
そうわかるのよ。
とある筋から
I
な
have my sources. I don't drop Titor's name. I have no doubt that genius girl would laugh if I did. Kurisu puts a finger to her lip, deep in thought.
セルンが本当に
I wanted to see the proof that CERN's really doing that sort of research. It's true, we didn't get any definite proof of CERN's time travel research last time we hacked them.
セル
Will
ン
it take much longer to find the server's admin's account?
ちょうどこれからやる
Actually, I was just thinking about doing that. It shouldn't take more than half a
とい
day.
うわけだ
それまで待つわ。
待つってもう夜になってる件について
いいえ、待たせてもらう。
I mean, there's also Moeka coming, so it's actually gonna be a party of people.
セルンは世界最高の研究機関なのよ。世界中の研究者、わかる？もし事実なら
She finishes by emphasizing that point again. Doesn't look like she believes us.
任せたぞ
According to Daru's research, the IBN weighs 25 kilos. For now, we'll leave it on the shelf in the development room. I wouldn't put there anything. We have like an exploding microwave there. We carry the card box to the room, half dragging it. Kurisu follows.
電話レンジ見せて。
よかろう
あれ以来
You haven't been able to send another mail to the past, right?
ちょっと試してみましょう。
Kurisu looks around the development room.
しかし
ガラクタではないお前はまだ知らないよ
As you're new to the future gadget laboratory, I'll explain. These are glorious fruits of our science, the future
ここに
gadgets.
保管されているのだ未来ガジェット
未来ガジェットね。
Kurisu casually picks future gadget 4, mode snake up from the shelf and stares at it.
ちょっと
Isn't this a
未
weapon?
来ガジェット4モアッドスピ
Instant humidifier. How confusing.
水を入れて電
Insert water and turn the power on, and in a mere seconds it generates a thick cloud of steam.
ガラクタだな。
Kurisu sighs and returns mode snake to the shelf. I'm borrowing this. Without waiting for a reply, she grabs Daru's never-worn lab coat from the shelf and puts it on gallantly. Wow.
やっぱり落ち着くな。
It's just not right without the lab coat. Overcome with emotion, I seize Kurisu's hand and grasp it firmly.
助手よ
Assistant, you got this, don't you?
何がよ。話してよ。
やはり研究開発においては白衣こそ
I
が
told
有利
Daru over and over, but he wouldn't wear one. But my assistant is different. She put it on before I even said anything.
やはり俺の目に狂いはなかったクリスティーナお前は最高の
褒めてくれてるのかもしれんが、私にしてみれば侮辱されてるとしか思えんぞ。おい、
He shakes up my hand and turns back
そ
to
の
me.
白衣はラボメン加入記念として
Or maybe this fateful encounter between you and the lab coat was decided by destiny long ago. Daru's not wearing it was just another inevitability. This is the choice of Steins.
くだらないこと言ってないで。
Kurisu thrusts both hands into her lab coat's pockets and bends down to look at the time machine now placed underneath the table. The previous experiment broke the table and even left a hole in the floor. There is a danger that will happen again if we successfully reproduce this discharge phenomenon, so unfortunately we'll have to leave it on the floor for now.
電子レンジの方は何も
I
いじってない
point to the X6 8000. There's a code on the
常
screen.
時ターミナルモード
It's a terminal mode now.
どんな設定
We can change the factory settings like this, make the microwave do things manufacturer never
放電
intended.
現象が起きた時はどんな
特になりも
Nothing out of the ordinary, it was at the factory settings.
バナナもらうわよ。
I'll take a banana. The bunch of bananas only have 3 bananas
これは
left.
前売りのものだ
Oh, like he ever cared about it.
許可取らなくていいわね。明日新しいバナナ買ってくることにして。
Kurisu takes one banana from the bunch, squats down and places inside a phone wave name subject to change. She begins to type on her phone. She pushes send and the phone wave begins to turn backwards. After 120 seconds, the chime rings.
何も
Nothing happened.
ない
The banana's still in the microwave, Angela replied. Kurisi laughs as she tries to take out the banana and quickly throws back her hand. She starts blowing her fingers. It's hot.
レンジが普通に動作したということか
This proves that the hidden function Mayuri found wasn't a freezing function, but we knew that already. Undaunted, Kurisu throws in a new banana and once again begins reverse rotation for 120 seconds, but the second banana warms up too. We can't reproduce the jellification phenomenon, much less send email to the
ど
past.
ういうことだ
やっぱり
I guess what happened earlier was irregularity after all.
レギュラーだろうがなんだろうが原因を
それには同意
We agree for once. But Kurisu's motives and my motives are probably the exact opposite. My assistant here wants to disprove my theory that the phone wave, named subject to change, is in fact a time
こ
machine.
の前の実験ちぎられたバナナは電話レンジカッコ仮で120秒間を過ごした後
違う120秒前の状態に戻るならゲル化はしない
So she wants to say that because it was jellified, it didn't travel back in
唐揚げを
time.
化せずに冷凍状態へとも
そのゲル化せずに冷凍状態に戻ったっていうロジックも怪しい冷凍されていただけでゲル化そのものは
I think Mayuri ate their frozen chicken.
塩に関しては
Well, it didn't jellify. You mean nothing changed? After the discharge phenomenon occurred last time, we spent all night experimenting with cabbage, radishes, rice, konjac, melon bread, crunchy-kun, and cup noodles.
液体に関しても同様だあの日は放電現象の前後で放電現象前は
Before the discharge phenomenon, everything succeeded. After the discharge phenomenon, everything
レン
failed.
ジが電気を溜め込んでるとかゲル化したものはフラクタル構造のようだ塩はもともと単純構造だから影響を受けないのかな
ここはタイムトラベル理論を前提に
ダメ結論ありきです
でにいくつも実験成功例があるのだぞ
私は別にこれがタイムマシンじゃなくてそもそもこの小さな電子レンジの中でビッグバンに匹敵するエネルギーが発生していると定義放電現象の再現それにやり方は何も変えていない設定も全く変えていない
誰が観測するか
何よそれ
量子論だ
Quantum theory, the observer is an important element of the experiment. Could be. But we could reproduce that even without Mayushi around, right?
フラクタル構造化した実験時は2人の時や3人の私たちは2人ともどちらの現象つまり条件は
だとしたら
Maybe it's because it's on the floor. Did they check when it's still on the table? Or did they just put it on the floor to avoid it falling?
腹が減ったのか
Or maybe it is like the electrical discharge.
昼から何も食べてないのよ
She turns away as she looks at her watch. It's already 8.
バナナを食う
You see the banana, but only one of the two we just warmed. They are, after all, the fruits of our experiments. Or you could take something from our stock of cup noodles.
いらないかやはりアメリカ生活
カップ麺
何
カップ麺ほら
カップ麺をか
ちなみに
醤油味と塩味がある
塩味
Ugh, disgusting. I hate chicken. I would take the soy sauce flavor. She seems in the mood to eat.
それとフォーク
Do you have a fork? She doesn't know how to use chopsticks. It's past midnight. At 8 o'clock, the two of us silently ate cup noodles and warm bananas. Dara said he didn't want any, and ever since then, we've been examining the phone wave name subject to change. I've mainly focused on the terminal mode settings through the X6 8000. The programs Dara wrote are all wizard class though, so I can't understand most of them. Kurisu's been examining the AC adapter and the lab's electrical switchboard for a while, though we stopped her when she tried to disassemble them. It's an early morning and she still shows no signs of leaving. Where is she staying anyway? She's been in Japan for 1 or 2 months and she did say she was going back to America this month. The trains aren't running this late, so I guess she might not be able to leave even if she wants to, but in that case, why didn't she leave before the trains stopped? Don't tell me she plans to. I mean, she literally says she's gonna stay. No girls have ever stayed over at the lab. Mayuri has a curfew, so she has always come back home to Ikebukuro. Daru and I frequently stay here, though. It's not an exaggeration to say we live here half of the time. Maybe it's normal for American girls to stay over in labs.
クリスティーナ
Is it okay to stay here in this lane? Perhaps you should contact your family. No need.
お前の親は放任主義なのか？
I haven't seen my father in 7 years. My mother is in America. I'm living in a hotel right now, understand? Living in a hotel? Well, true. Renting an apartment for just a month is absurd, but... You damn celebrity. If you're American, then you should at least use a motel instead of a hotel.
私はアメリカ人じゃないし、東京のど真ん中。
どんなホテルだ？
どんな
It's a normal hotel in Ochanomizu.
お茶の水？ではここから歩いて。
まあね。
I see. That's why she's so flexible with her schedule. I finally understand.
父親の件に
は？
7年会っている。
Said you haven't seen him in 7
なんであんた
years.
が私の父親に？
お前がこれ見よがしに
You're the one
父
who
親のことを
mentioned
口にしたのでは
him.
ないか。
But why? Right, he has like no filter, right? He didn't notice how upset she was when the topic went to her father before.
お前は俺の助手だ。
Kurisu pouts and says no more. Instead, she glares at the circuit box on the wall.
あんたに話すことなんて。
そうか、わかったぞ。お前の父
Your
親は
father was a hero, but then he fell to evil and now he wears a black mask. Oh no. She's gonna hit him. I think I heard Kurisu's teeth grind.
もしかしてすごく怒っている。
人の家族の問題を。
Kurisu doesn't look me in the eye, but her low voice tells me how mad she is.
そうやって茶化さないで。
Could her father's situation be a landmine? Maybe I should apologize. I tried to think of the words, but before I can say anything...
切った
That is war cries echoes through the lab.
誰？やったのか？
ーミッションコンプリート
That shows his white teeth and a wide grin as he gives a thumbs up.
サーバー管理者の ID と
We're gonna see into
パスを手に入れた
CERN.
ぜこれでもう弛緩し放題だヒャッホー
IBN5100 が使われて。
そっちは独立して存在してるわけでそもそもそんな特殊なプログラムで組まれたデータベースじゃ
所長クラス以上の役職などさ。
セルン評議会ってのがあるら
ふう。
いかにもって
ラスボスとしてのネーミングに決まっているだろう。
Kurisu looks at me coldly. Whatever. Let's leave the IBN database for another day.
ダル、早速、
オキドキ前に調べ
すると、ゼリーマン
And the Jellyman's report. We couldn't get a concrete information on either before. Her angry expression has disappeared.
とくと見ておくがいい。
うほう見つけた LH
責任者。
今そいつの PC Z プログラム Z
Z はゼリーの略で間違いないな。
ゼリーは J よ。JELL。
ケアレスミス過去悪い
つまり、そんな単純なネーミングのはずがないのだ。これには重要な意味が。
お来た来た
He displays a graphic on the monitor. It looks like a scan of a very old paper document. The letters read Z program top secret.
立案日は
1973, so that's before the IBN.
1954年。
I asked that, but Kurisu answers instead, her tone flat. I thought that maybe CERN was formed with the Z program in mind, but 54 means my guess was off. Very cat, yeah.
5100が発売されたのは。
What was the... 2 years later.
1975年
So maybe that's why the IBN was central to CERN's operation. The year is mad after all. No, that's wrong. It can't be something as stupidly simple as that. There has to be a worldwide conspiracy involved. Maybe IBN hid their proprietary programming language in the IBN for the sole purpose of its use in CERN's Z program. IBN and CERN are co-conspirators. And both of them are being manipulated from the shadows by an even larger organization. Yeah, that's way more interesting.
JPEG かよふざけんな
Daru mutters some complaint. Text isn't in French. What's on screen right now looks like English.
フランス語やら
There's French, Dutch, and German versions too. The content looks the same though.
普通の支配とそれに
CERN's purpose heading into the future shall be extended over space and time, thereby to enable the construction of extant history and the creation of an everlasting utopia, ruled by committee that encompasses the entirety of past and future events. Kurisu suddenly starts speaking at a stilted clip.
あそっか
Maki second English. Yeah, I wonder how.
アメリカに留学したのも全て
Of course not.
勝手に運命感じないで。
Daru relinquishes his chair, allowing Kurisu to sit in front of the computer.
本実験計画は
In order to maintain his project's secrecy and to allow its name to remain relevant in changing circumstances, we designate it the Z program.
はすなわちオメガ
Like the Greek omega or the Cyrillic ya.
その名に意味
It is forbidden to assign any meaning to its name or to seek its insignificance beyond the project itself. Negative returns are
不利益を与える
predicted should these edicts be violated.
プログラムは
The Z program is a top-secret project spanning international borders like electromagnetic wave research. It has been approved for
電磁波
top priority finding by the Committee of 300.
以後セレン
Henceforth, all of the research performed by CERN shall function to keep the Z program's existence a secret.
機能
I guess Chris is reading the preface to a document. It's getting rather dull. But this confirms basically whatever Titor said, right? Is there anything specific about the Z program? Daru types on the keyboard from the side, bringing up another window. So we have confirmation of everything that Titor said in his posts on like Reddit, let's call it Reddit, so far, because he did mention Council of 300 and he did mention the world of Utopia, right? When there's like no war, no conflicts, no armies, nothing like that. So it seems that at least in our timeline they were successful. Kurisu bends forward and stares wide-eyed at the words on the screen.
Z プログラムでは高エネルギーの陽子陽子衝突を用いた
So they do need
変
LGC,
異実験を行う
time-space displacement experiments. In other words,
タイムトラベル実験
I have to struggle to keep from shouting. I quickly run over to the window and close it. Ah, right. The girl downstairs, she might be listening. It might make it hotter inside, but it would be worse if people outside overheard us. That has to be so heartbreaking to Kurisu. Like, first of all,
世界中の
Okaba is permanently picking at her father's topic. I mean, permanently since yesterday. And she did mention it was like pretty tragic. That's one thing. And another thing, her father disappeared over the topic. Like, he was completely ostracized by the scientist society because he was looking into time travel and he was considered to be like, you know, insane. And there we are. You're telling me they've been deceiving the world for nearly 40 years.
俺の睨んだ通りだな
Ah.
セルの裏には巨大な
何が機関だこの中二病
What organization? Yeah, that still doesn't... Like, we are having something, but he's still adding, like, insanity to it. Ah, yeah, the time travel. True.
バカを言うな俺つか機関っていう
Shouldn't be the committee instead the organization? That's what it says here.
確認委員会か
I don't think they mean CERN's executive council. What are they talking about?
あらゆる疑問話聞き
That's also a good question. What are they talking about? The Committee of 300 is a dark power that controls every secret society, every government, every multinational corporation. Do you think that there were actually conspiracy theories after the release of Steins Gate? Like, people unironically believed what is going on in Steins Gate? And actually, like, added up to it? Yeah, I think so too. I think people found some insane reasons to find conspiracy theories to be truthful. And I think the next time, before we're gonna have, like, because I think we've been at it for so long that we must be pretty close to the end of this chapter. And I think that before we start, like, the next stream, we're actually gonna look, hello, we're actually gonna look into some conspiracy theories. You know, to, how do I put it? To align ourselves next time when we will be watching or reading Steins Gate, we're gonna, you know, watch some conspiracy theories, watch some, like, insanity over the internet, so you're hyped and piped. I don't know why I wanted to say piped. Like, prepared to what is there to come, right? Google it if you don't believe
こ
me.
れまで人
Until now, the human race, for all its accomplishment, has been never able to overcome the barrier called time. The technology of time travel, which can break through that barrier, will change the course of human history literally. And naturally, all those with power will use any means at their disposal to obtain it. That was quite a speech. Since you seem to know so much about it, does that mean you're aiming for God I mean, I'm pretty sure he already considers himself to be a god. Wait a second, I need to check the save for following Kyoma. Okabe, Steins Gate. Who's his voice actor? Green. Voice actor, give me the voice actor, please. Mamoru Miyano, ah, never mind. Mamoru Miyano was in Oran Hostel Club, right? And Death Note, he was Kira. He indeed was Kira. I've seen him in so many stuff. There are a lot of conspiracy that were confirmed through like plastic straws or forcing recycled paper straws that were fake. Yeah, I mean, we're not gonna go into stuff that might potentially be true, right? I mean, I strongly believe that conspiracy theories, like theories usually are used to do like fear-mongering and stuff like that, but there are some that are based on like actual events or things that are actually like going on. So we're not gonna dwell into that part. What we're gonna dwell into is some like absolute insanity, like wolves on freaking Antarctica, dragons leaving beyond our side and stuff like that. I've actually once went to that rabbit hole and I was doom scrolling, and I've got some like insane content on that. But I'm not gonna spoil it. We're gonna talk about it, and I'm gonna bring some stuff in before like the next stream. We need to still finish this episode, and I think that's gonna be a nice thing for the just yapping section. Because yeah, I've read things. I've read things that I cannot unread or like unsee, and they're on TikTok. There's like quite a lot of them on TikTok. Right now, they're all believe that we went through a quantum jump PowerPoint stream. No, I'm not gonna like be that well prepared. I stream to relax too, right? So I'm not gonna do the PowerPoint. Give me a break. But I'm gonna bring the power of conspiracy TikTok on our side. And we're gonna see some stuff that we will wish to never see again. Trust. I'm asking Okabe. Damn, new assistant, how dare you attack my very identity? Yeah, I'm also more interested in that programmed in his delusions. But he has some points sometimes. Our top priority now is to expose the dark side of the international research organization known as CERN. At least show respect when you're asking a favor. Though huffling out complaints, Kurisa obediently goes back to translating. Ah, it's related to Large Hadron Collider. Let's go!
陽子シンクロトロンからの半世紀にわたるノウハウ蓄積により一定成果を得ている。プログラム第2段階、リフターの実用化および調整。これにより2つ以上の人工的な局所場特異点の生成および カーブラックホールの生成を可能とする。なお、ブラックホール生成についての情報を意図的に曲解させてリークし、プログラム本来の目的について悟られぬようにすることが必要である。プログラム第3段階、動物実験。プログラム第4段階。
That is spooky. Human experimentation. Imagine it was her father, like he somehow learned about that thing, or they lured him in. They're like, oh, you're so hyped for the freaking thank you for your bits, Holocasia. So like imagine he was so passionate about it that instead of silencing him, what they did is they unironically used him for the experiments. Like that is super messed up, but also seems to be like realistic. I would say it's realistic. I think that would be possible. I bet she thinks this is what happened to her father. Oh, god damn it. I was elated to discover that an institution as respected as CERN was actually doing time travel research. After all, we ourselves had succeeded, whether by chance or design, in producing our own time travel phenomenon. I thought that maybe we could beat CERN to the first functional time machine design. But no. Just like I said to Kurisu, the world is full of lies, morals are meaningless. Was it really okay for us to get involved in this?
なあオカリン、前にハッキングした時のこと覚えてるか？確か実験結果エラー。
Human is dead, we mismatched from me. Did you see the Jellyman? Yeah, we still need to see the Jellyman's report. Could that have something to do with human experimentation? Yeah, could we look for that one? Are they entrusting the decision to me? I ask myself, is this really okay? Are you sure? There's no turning back. True, but can I live with myself if I ignore this conspiracy? Like, finally. You should leave. What do you mean? It just gives me a bad feeling once we see it. Oh, he might be right. It might actually be about her father. You're a genius. You're already published. For crying out loud, there's no need to throw away your promising future. He actually has different concerns, goddammit. You chickening out?
この陰謀を前にしたらあまりに無力だ。
でもだからって
これは遊びではない。
分かった。告発はやめる。
But her expression shows she still doesn't agree. She finally submits. But I'm not leaving. It'll keep me awake at night.
後悔しないな。
しない。
She declares from I don't know if it's her competitive spirit, if it's her bravery, or if she's just ignorant to the ways of the world. But it doesn't look like I can persuade her to back down. Yeah, I don't think it's possible, to be honest.
覚悟はできているか。
僕はスーパーハッカーだし。
He actually said super haka. Why wasn't it like shown like that, man? I feel scammed.
そも足がつくようなヘマもしないっつうか。
It's good that Mayuri's not here. I can get her involved. I look at Daru and Chris in the eye.
よし始めよ
Chris gives the seat to Daru.
うなお本作戦名は
Oh,
レーギャルンのは
なんで北欧
Norse mythology. I mean, he has this whole Ragnarok thing in his head, right?
そもそも作戦名とか
誰作戦開始
He soon finds the Jellyman's report. It required a second password authentication with Daru broke through easy. I just don't want to see it.
いい開くぞ。
Daru looks at me and Kurisu. I wet my parched lips and nod. Unable to escape through the closed window, it surrounds us with the operative heat. Daru wipes the sweat off his forehead with a handkerchief, then timidly presses the enter key. The file opens. At first glance, it looks like a resume. There is a photograph on the top right. The top left has a name, age, height, weight, and other information. In the center is a long string of long English text. Underneath that, there is something attached, like a scan of a newspaper clipping with a black and white photo. And then I know. I know exactly what the Jellyman and Jellyman report means.
ジェリーマンズレポート10
Oh, right. That makes sense because we got jellified by. Oh, holy hell. A man in a wall appears in a wall, New York.
被験者ジェームス・マッカーシー
James McCarty. Oh, thank God that is not her father.
Z プログラム
Z program stage 48 experiment.
1月28日
Kurisu bends over Daru's shoulder, reading the contents out loud.
実験結果
Results error, human is dead, mismatch.
それかよ。
超重力に
It is believed that due to the infinite compression by supergravity, the subject could not enter a passage through the singularities inside the Kerr black hole.
1921年4月3日
An unidentified man was discovered dead in the alley of Union Square. The right half of his body was embedded in a nearby wall. It sounds like Kurisi is reading the newspaper article at the end.
身元不明の男
The man's body
全身が
was completely jellified.
ゼリー状になっていた
We actually made it. Wait a second. Not this one. Cancel. Not this one. Also not this one. Where do I save the game? Backlook, quick save, quick close, save. Okay. They're gonna do it here. 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 And here. Because I'm freaking terrified that I will lose that save. So, we actually made it to 2 out of God knows how many chapters. I don't know how many. Like, I honestly don't know how many. Because, everyone I spoke about this game about give me like something like completely different answer about how many chapters there are. I've heard like 9, I've heard like 15, I've heard like 21. So I don't know at this point.